Welcome back, or well, I guess welcome to this. It would only be welcome back applicable at this specific moment in time, but you know what I mean. Thumbnail looks like Pink Ranger Kimberly. I'm a big Pink Ranger fan. So's Randy Wanzer. What's up, Izzy? What's up, Daninsky? All right, we got 3 episodes of Sightings, and if we have time, I found this Bigfoot press conference. It's at some hotel. It looks like it could be a good time. It seemed pretty relevant too, but let's jump into sightings. This time we've got UFOs contact the Holy Land, saved by an angel, Bigfoot update, and the ghosts of Gettysburg.
Ufologists believe
What's up, Vinny Slugger?
Then they did not call them UFOs, the so-called ancient gods, and today we call them aliens.
Have extraterrestrials returned to the Holy Land? Then, do spirits of the dead wander the site of America's bloodiest battle?
I believe the area is infested by ghosts.
Later, Bigfoot sightings increase in the Pacific Northwest and beyond.
It is almost on the edge of being unbelievable.
Also, a little girl is saved by angels.
When it happened, so
Sorry, I
could
just
tell
woke
other
up from a
people not
nap.
to be afraid of dying.
Plus, a sightings update. The
I just took a
Earth
slumber.
wages war on human beings.
The problem is the average person on the street is not well enough
I didn't mean to
informed
McHenry
to
myself
get
there.
worried about it.
And if there are no UFOs, why is there an official government policy for greeting extraterrestrials?
Oh, Bethadone is pretty much on board to let me show her video. She really wants to see her lore book. I might show her like one page, maybe, but I feel like I really shouldn't. I feel like that's crossing a journalistic line, but I really want to show the video. Listen to this. Okay, just listen to this audio from it, okay?
It's no hate. Like, honestly, I don't want to hurt his feelings, but I don't like how he treats Joy. I don't like the way he said she looked 3 months pregnant when she had one bulimic relapse. He called her 3 months pregnant. What the fuck are you doing to your wife?
Oh my god. Just imagine, like, a whole stream. Kino.
Welcome to Sightings. I'm Tim White. Enter a new location in the annals of UFO hotspots, the Holy Land. Since 1989, UFOs, crop circles, and alien beings have been sighted over Israel by a chief of police, law enforcement, and military
Israel.
personnel, and civilians. The first-hand accounts as told to our Sightings
What are you
investigative
doing to
team
your
in
wife?
Israel bear an uncanny resemblance to encounters here, half a world away. For decades, ufologists have postulated that many biblical passages and ancient inscriptions may have been the ancient world's way of documenting UFO sightings and extraterrestrial contact. And now, those same researchers claim that there is new and compelling...
Hold on, I'll play one more for you. This is a short one.
You know what he says to her, probably. Okay? I know men like him. I understand dumb shit like him. I don't like Richard. You can tell him to his face. I don't give a fuck.
My god.
compelling evidence that UFO encounters in the Holy Land are not just ancient history.
People who have been studying UFOs seriously have reached the consensus
Not for Cal.
that the
Well, it's a little bit different. I'd have to do a reaction stream. That's the difference. She doesn't want it
Angels of the
deleted.
Bible.
She just wants compensated for giving it
are
up.
returning, and these are the aliens of Israel today.
Kel's not an issue of sweeping. Kel was 100% just that she's incredibly combative to try to work with. I don't really know how she approaches content. Like, it's kind of weird. She wants to do crazy stuff, but then she wants to always like delete everything. So I would just play the Kel. I would just post the Kel stuff because it's really not that bad. The stuff on the Beth video is pretty wild.
The most recent
But
UFO
complete,
flap is occurring here
complete art.
in a quiet rural area near the coast of Israel.
In March 1993, strange things began to happen in a little town called Kadima.
The strange things that Israeli ufologist Dor.
Like if Lindsay Valandry would have said, "Hey, would you mind taking that clip down and instead like do a video where you react to it and talk about it?" Then that would be like, that would have been acceptable. Does that make sense?
Documented have a familiar ring to American ufologists.
Sweeping for
Between March of 1993
what would you have to sweep for
and
Kel
June
for?
of 1993, there were at least 5 visitations in Israel. The first publicized landing was at Tziporet Carmel's backyard.
It was just amazing. And I looked at that sign,
Oh my God.
and I thought to myself, what could
Okay, hang on.
this be? And I looked at that
Zipperay Caramel. Zipperay Caramel is an alien contactee.
site, and I thought to myself, what could this be?
The last thing Siporet Carmel thought
Beth's just trying to wet her beak. She's trying to barter, which is perfectly, you know, probably pretty ethical.
was that her home's
Just to get
backyard
a little
had
something
been the
in
site of
return.
a UFO visitation. It was not until 4 other women came forward, women who did not know each other and had not heard each other's stories, that
I'm not really sure what she thinks is gonna be in there. Like it's gonna have some big revelations or something. It's literally a lore book. It's like a dictionary about Bethadone,
Siporet realized that she was part
or
of
like a
Israel's
quick reference
greatest
guide.
modern-day UFO encounter.
These are not women who have
Zipperay
any ulterior
Caramel.
motive whatsoever. They have nothing to gain by it.
It was a Saturday morning. I woke up very early. I looked at the alarm clock, and it was 6:30 in the morning.
I was asleep and woke up very early Saturday morning. I heard a loud bang. I was afraid to go downstairs and check it out. I preferred to wait until daylight.
It was 3 o'clock Saturday morning. I woke up with the noise of my dog barking. I went to the door near the window. Inside the house it was dark, but outside it was light. I opened the curtains and I saw a big giant image staring at me.
His face was more oval-shaped. His eyes were shiny like a stoplight, glittering. His nose was very small like a dot.
I tried to get to him. Instinctively, I raised my hand to push him away, but it was like pushing against a wall.
And all around, there were as if flickering lights.
He didn't say anything to me, but I heard a voice in my head. It was like telepathy. And the voice said, "Go away. I could smash you like a little dog. Go back to your husband."
And I got, so to speak, an answer in my head in English.
I was trying to find Jimmy's lore book. I know I always keep it kind of close at hand, but I can't find it right now.
5 women who don't know each other.
I've shown
describe
Jimmy's book
the same
on
bald-headed
cam, I
giants
think, before.
They could have described little ones,
Oh my
green
God, look
ones,
at these witness drawings. Give me a break.
red ones, humanoid ones. They had infinite possibilities of descriptions. They all describe the same 7-foot, bald, round-headed creature.
And all 5 women found crop circles outside their homes within a few days of their experiences.
More than 59 crop
What did I
circles
do with
of
his
UFO
books?
landings were made between March
They gotta be
and
here.
June 1993. Why? I don't know.
Around the circles was plenty of weed. I went there in the rainy season still, and there was plenty of vegetation. But in the circles themselves, there wasn't. There was just scraggly brown weeds.
The grass became, within a day, completely dry. It was before high as this grass all around. Became completely dry, and eventually, after 2 or 3
No
days,
luck.
lay down just like the way it's here.
And researchers discovered strange materials clinging to the dried crops.
There were strange red
Cheeto
stains
dust.
all over, and little pieces of unknown material that now we know it was a silicone. This is it. It's very
Zipperay
light, it's very
Caramel.
thin,
Caramel.
and it's bright and glowing. We send it to the National Geological Lab, to Dr. Henry Funner, who tested this.
Oh God,
According to Dr.
Bethadone
Funner's
sent me
testimony,
about
this
2
specific
minutes
material
of
we are talking about here is a pure 99.8%
voice messages.
pure silicon. It does not exist naturally on Earth.
When details of the Kadima encounter came out in the media, other residents in the area began to come forward with stories they had kept secret for several years out of fear of ridicule.
In 1991, Ellie Cohen, a young and ambitious businessman, was awoken one night when his house glowed from the inside.
I was standing
Look at this guy's
near the
outfit,
kitchen
man.
window. I looked up and I saw an eye, a big eye with a light.
Ellie claims that the object appeared about 3 nights. Each
Play the
night,
psychopath
about
messages.
3.5
It might be
hours.
personal. She's
It was
negotiating
glowing,
with me.
It was hovering, it was moving.
Or she may be threatening violence against me if I don't tell her who I think might have a crush on her.
Make no sounds, no hum noise, and whatsoever.
What was she trying to get me to tell her earlier?
Disc.
Oh, she just was randomly talking about about whether or not her methodology of crimes were well
I didn't
known.
need anyone to convince me that it was something from outer space.
It's just like a Mexican hat-shaped object. It must be about 30 meters in
Mexican
diameter,
hat
with a
shape?
round big hole on the bottom. This is not a hoax. This is not a fake. This is a real UFO.
She's obviously hijacking the
And
show. She
it
probably doesn't know
matches
I'm live.
by its
I didn't
size,
tell her.
The size of the landing sites founded in Kadima 3 years later.
If extraterrestrials are trying to make contact, why Kadima? And why now?
There's a huge radio antenna located in the middle of Kadima. Maybe it's because there's electricity in the antenna. Maybe it's villages. I don't know.
Electromagnetism generated
Armani.
by the radio towers is similar to the type of energy measured within the crop circles. But the energy here appears to be stronger, causing instant physical effects in some of the women.
It was a feeling as if a very strange energy came literally through me and out of me, and then just evaporated.
And in January of 1995, the phenomena took a bizarre turn.
800 meters from the Kadima antenna tower lived a farmer called Amos Guetta.
Yeah, but I bet it's not only
We woke up on
Armani.
Saturday morning.
Rachel
We
Guetta.
went to feed the chickens, the sheep, and the
These are
dog,
all,
as
this is
usual.
in Israel, right?
At 6:30 in the morning, when we woke up, it was already too late. All the animals were already dead, except the dog.
She opens his eyes and there are no eyeballs. 15 minutes later, the dog dies. She walks
What's
to
up,
her
south to west?
sheep pen, and there are 3 dead sheep. They have been shaved around the cheekbone and have had a hole drilled to the bone itself.
No blood was found either. We tried to cut the
This is
veins
dark as
of
hell.
the sheep. No blood was in it. They were
The dog.
empty
Lock
of
him
blood.
up.
She goes on to the chicken house, where the chickens are literally frozen dead. No panic amongst the chickens. They're not scattered. They're in their roosts, dead. About 40 of them.
According to some
Okay, help me understand this. It is terrifying to think of an entire thing of chickens dead. Why would they be in a panic if they're dead? How can you be in a panic if you're dead, I guess is my question. He's like, well, thank God they weren't in a panic. They were just dead.
ufologists in Israel, the significance of these events has not only...
What year is this from? Gosh, I don't know. It's season 3 of Sightings. I would think like it's in the 90s somewhere.
scientific, but also religious importance.
Israeli ufology is divided between
South
rationalists
to west
and
is pretty good
mystics.
about eyeballing
The mystics believe that
eras.
something extremely important is related to the landings.
Well, as one who has studied the Bible and
Zachariah Sitchin.
to some extent,
Oh, he wrote the 12th
biblical
Planet.
scholar
Wow.
and a specialist on the ancient languages of the peoples of the ancient Near East, I became interested in the origins of their civilizations. And
What's this music?
unintentionally, perhaps, I stumbled on the fact that
Very relaxing.
ancient civilizations, the people at the time claimed that they were taught, they were given that knowledge by visitors to...
Listen, here they are. Here's the aliens that are harassing the Israelis. What is going on with these pictures? Like, what the hell? Looks like something you get in like a box of cereal in the 80s.
Earth from a neighboring planet. The difference between the interaction then and now was that then they did not call them UFOs. They knew precisely who was using them, who was flying, the so-called ancient gods. And today
The ancient
we call them
gods.
aliens and are afraid of them.
The pattern of sightings in Israel continues. There have been additional reports of crop circles, UFOs, and cattle mutilations. We'll bring you more from the Middle East on an upcoming edition of Sightings.
Coming up next,
She grabbed my hand and we started to walk down the tunnel.
after a near fatal accident, a little girl's angelic vision saves her life.
96.
Do angels exist? Well, according to a Time magazine survey, more than 2/3 of all Americans believe that they do. Skeptics argue that angelic visions are simply the brain replaying unconscious images absorbed through pop culture. For that reason, accounts of angelic visions by very young children take on greater significance.
Oh my God.
Their visions have not been polluted by the media, and what they are seeing is extraordinary.
She was lifeless. There was no life in the child whatsoever.
When Ricky first presented to the emergency department, I was almost sure that she would not survive.
What's this guy's name?
Emergency department.
There was no life in the child whatsoever.
When Ricky first presented to the emergency department, I was almost sure that she would not survive.
Okay. This sounds like a name they would use on like a Jerky Boys call. Hey, pal, it's me, Lawrence Jellyneck. Come on, Sightings.
I ran through the hall, and I knew something was wrong, and I found her floating face down in the pool.
They love Bay Area sports.
And she screamed for help, and there was nothing my sister and I could do.
It was such a difficult call because the parents of the child were very good friends of mine.
October 21st, 1984. They only took their eyes off her for a second, but that was long enough for tragedy to strike
Into the
the
pool.
Enriquez family of Barstow, California. A poolside accident left 2-year-old Ricky paralyzed and in a deep coma. While her family prayed for a miracle, Ricky believes she briefly entered a world where miracles do
His name's
happen.
Jellyneck.
I looked behind me and I saw a guardian angel, and
Listen here, Jellyneck.
she had flowing golden color hair and she was wearing a white dress. She grabbed my hand and we started to walk down the tunnel. When we got toward the end, she asked me if I wanted to go through the light with her or if
Yeah,
I wanted to go back. And I told
they're
her
always real
that I had to go back
heartstring
and tell my
pullers.
mom where I was going. And so I remember her walking me back and telling me not to be afraid.
That's how I felt when I first saw Grace showing items to the camera in that manic cleaning stream. I just felt like an angel had reached through the screen and was going to guide me to the Kino heaven.
Opened her eyes and began
Kino
to recover.
Valhalla.
Doctors
Speaking of which, did you guys see Eric McHenry got Valhalla? Finally, something I can talk to him about.
Know why, but
Assassin's Creed
and she told her
Valhalla.
mother about it.
It was approximately a month after she had come home from the hospital, and I had taken her shopping with me.
Yeah,
We
she
went
saw
into
an
a
angel,
bookstore,
didn't she, Linda?
And maybe 5 minutes into shopping, she grabbed my hand and squeezed and started screaming and yelling in the store, "Mama, Mama, that's my angel." And I didn't know what she was talking about. I looked around, and there was a poster on the wall, and it was of a guardian angel.
True.
Visions of angels are as real as any other human experience.
Dr. Melvin Morse is a critical care physician, author, and a leading authority on near-death experience in children.
Oh boy.
My scientific studies on near-death experiences clearly document that near-death experiences are in fact the dying experience.
Dr.
True,
Morse
I
believes
believe
that through
I
the
believe
near-death
that.
experiences of children, we can preview the afterlife.
Children experience a spiritual
No, I
life.
wouldn't do that anyway.
The great majority.
The only I think contact you have with other players in that game is like if you're friends with someone who plays the game and like they die, then you can go find like their corpse and avenge them. You can go kill whatever enemy killed them, but I don't really want to be friends with Eric McHenry on Xbox, no offense.
During near-death experiences, and this is a loving.
Plus he probably
comforting
plays
light.
on
It's not
PC as
just
well,
some
I
sort
would
of
think.
reflex spasm of the optic nerve, or the dysfunctional firing of neurons in their occipital lobe. It's a light that one child said to me has a lot of good things in it.
It was a really fluorescent color.
It's honestly a nightmarish game for someone like Eric who has like difficulty with having too many choices, because it's a massive, not only a massive open world game, but it has so much, like, I guess you'd call it like filler content, like fetch quests and little side stuff that you don't have to do. Like that, it's ridiculous how much content is in that game.
It had really bright colored bricks around it, and it had a really almost blinding light at the end.
While Dr. Morse believes that Ricky Enriquez had a vision of death, author Joan Wester Anderson has a different interpretation. She believes Ricky had what is known as a celestial vision of her guardian angel.
I've been playing it off and on for like
Angels
years.
appear to children, I think, because children are so
Joan
open
Wester Anderson.
to the spiritual realm. In near-death experiences with children, about 70% of those involve the sighting of an angel, which is kind of interesting because adults only report 15 or 20%.
Anderson points out that the word angel comes from the Greek, meaning messenger.
The message that they get from these kinds of encounters is that their ordinary lives are filled with purpose and meaning. Typically, a child will say to me, "Gosh, I learned that I have a job to do."
When this first happened, we never went to church much. She had no knowledge of angels, really didn't know anything about it. Since this, she likes to spread the word that the angels are out there and it's okay.
I think that it happened so I could tell other people not to be afraid of dying.
Although Ricky, who is now
Don't
12,
be afraid
has
of
not
dying,
had
guys.
another angelic vision, she feels that the presence of the angel is always with her, and her family feels its presence too. They believe that Ricky has new angelic qualities that were passed to her after her encounter.
What?
Next, is Bigfoot on the move?
Let's
Researchers
go.
discover a similar creature in the jungles of Brazil.
There is a horrible animal out there. They're terrified of this animal.
Since Sightings went online, our research
Well,
capabilities have expanded.
it sounds like one did talk to him in that last video. Maybe an angel gave him that flood of information.
Dramatically. In a very real sense, viewers are becoming field researchers, alerting us instantly to sightings around the world. Recently, our in-depth Bigfoot investigation generated important new leads and exclusive photographs from the Pacific Northwest.
Now we're talking.
This is so extraordinary. So
Finally, some real
something like a
news.
primitive man could exist in modern America. It is almost on the edge of being unbelievable.
Since Sightings' last report from Oregon's Bigfoot Research Center, Director Peter Byrne believes that new leads have brought
Apparently.
him closer to solving the most persistent zoological mystery in American history.
What's encouraging to us is that the descriptions don't vary. The descriptions are the same.
Hundreds of new
You shall
Bigfoot
cure all my...
sightings have been
I almost
reported to
forgot
the
about
center,
that. How
and many of
unhinged
them
was
offer
that? He's going to
clues
cure
about the
Alzheimer's?
creature's behavior and habitat. At least one sighting was made at a distance of less than 50 feet.
There were two women driving, and a place called Colton, south of here, and one crossed the road in front of them, about 6 feet tall, huge shoulders, short neck, and they said it walked very smoothly. Didn't look at the car, crossed the road in 2 or 3
Oh
steps.
my God. I'm going to cure all
People have seen the
diseases.
face. They say the face is a very human face. There's a straight nose, small lips, and it's not an ape's face, it's not a gorilla's face. A number of things like that. We think we're looking at a very primitive human.
Byrne is expanding his research team.
Oh my God, he's got the logo on the
yearly food supply and
side of his
seasonal migration
vehicle.
patterns.
We're building up a volunteer force right now of people who'll be working with us. If we do find fresh evidence, like a fresh sighting, a sighting that's only a few hours old, we have a plan to bring in our volunteers, to bring in 2 helicopters and get video and pictures close up.
I like
which will
this
be
guy. I
pretty
feel
good
like if he
proof.
was in a movie and he said something, like, I would trust him. Like, I would think like he probably knew what he was talking about, especially if it involved like an old book. I feel like this guy would definitely be an authority on an old book.
On the rugged shores of Puget Sound, less than 200 miles from the Bigfoot Center, one man believes he already has that proof.
Oh boy.
All the way up to the top of that mountain that day, we had the feeling we were being followed and watched. I saw
Dabney
this head
Coleman.
move like that, or what I thought was a head, and I decided to take
1-800
that picture.
Bigfoot.
On an expedition just weeks ago, Terry Mitchell took 2 photographs that many researchers believe are the most significant Bigfoot evidence since the infamous Patterson film taken in 1967.
I'm pretty confident that I've got a picture of a Sasquatch. All you can see is sort of a shoulders and the roundness of a head that looks like it's looking up the trail. If you take that picture and put it under a lens, you will actually see a face, a darkened face with black hair looking right at the camera.
And at the same time Terry Mitchell was photographing his Bigfoot encounter, thousands of miles
Is this
away
another case of that? What is it called?
Amazonian
Periodola,
strikingly
something like
similar
that.
experience.
It had a large and thick tail, was covered with reddish and blackish hairs, had long claws, a monkey-like face. The fellow was absolutely terrifying.
Monkey-like face.
Couldn't imagine what he'd seen.
Dr. David Orlin is a Harvard-educated research biologist working in South America. He believes that ancient legends about a creature called Mapengwe may be based in fact.
2 separate places, people were sent running away from what they considered to be this animal. The reports of this thing from all the far corners of the Brazilian Amazon, Venezuela, the Guyanas,
Man, wouldn't that be fun to go down
Colombia,
the Amazon River?
Peru, Bolivia.
Dr. Orrin has talked to many people who describe the Mapengwe as a creature who walks with backward feet. It stands over 6 feet tall, weighs more than 500 pounds, and according to one hunter,
6 feet,
it is
500
impervious to
pounds?
repeated
Wings of
blasts
Redemption?
from a shotgun.
Consistently, people report that this creature has a very, very bad smell, and then it affects the nervous system. People describe themselves as being disoriented, intoxicated, and there are 3 separate cases in which people are stated to have become mute for the rest of their lives after getting a large dose of this. Many of the people who give you these first-hand accounts, they'll say, I didn't believe in this thing either. I thought it was just a legend too, until I saw it. And let me tell you, it's not just a legend. There is a horrible animal out there. They're terrified of this animal.
Although Dr. Orrin has not seen the creature for himself, 10 years of data collected in the field have led him to believe the Mapengwe may be a prehistoric creature thought to be extinct.
Oh my God, come
Suddenly a
on,
light went off
dude.
in my head. Said, my God, this could only be a ground sloth. Well, this is perfectly extraordinary, because if we can suddenly drag out of the Amazon basin by its ear South America's largest land mammal, unknown to science until 1995 or 1996 or 1997. What else is out there?
Whoa, we must be deeper into the 90s then.
Embracing our ignorances.
The giant sloth is not the only supposedly extinct mammal to turn up in recent months. In Malaysia and in Israel, we are following up on reports that giant humanoid creatures have been discovered there as well.
What? When are we going to get that update?
Coming up,
giant humanoid months. In Malaysia and in Israel, we are following up on reports that giant humanoid creatures have been discovered there as well.
Coming up, ghosts on the battlefield.
Gettysburg is
Come
probably
on.
the most haunted battlefield.
Then, will the Earth destroy us?
This is not one person's problem. This is everyone's problem.
And the U.S. government has plans for extraterrestrial contact.
So many new discoveries, yes.
More Americans died during the Civil War than in both
Giant
World Wars
humanoid
and Vietnam
creatures
combined.
confirmed.
And no single battle exacted a greater human toll than Gettysburg. Many of the soldiers who drew their last agonizing breaths on that field were buried where
Well,
they
let's hope
fell.
they don't politicize
Today,
this.
the battlefield at Gettysburg is an historic monument, but it is also America's largest unmarked graveyard. And not surprisingly, many ghosts are said to haunt its hallowed ground.
There's a special feeling here at Gettysburg.
When you come here, it's almost like going into an eye of a hurricane.
A lot of the people that were killed here were killed very violently, very suddenly, and many of them literally bled to death on the battlefield.
The angel of a giant sloth. There you go.
Their lives were cut short, suddenly and horribly. And perhaps that's why a great deal of psychic energy remains in
A
places
giant
like
sloth would be pretty neat, though.
It's the little Pennsylvania town that changed the course of American history. Nearly 200,000 fought here in July 1863. and by the end of the three-day battle, more than 50,000 soldiers were lost. It was the turning point of the Civil War, and is still, according to some, a pivotal location for paranormal investigators. In his book, author and Civil War enthusiast Mark Nesbitt has collected reports of paranormal activity by
many
visitors to the
dancing stick
battlefield.
figures.
The Phantom Regiment is one that's been seen several times by several different people.
You can
sometimes
see
in
him here.
groups.
He's
They see a
stabilizing the
regiment,
rifle, and it's just like
lined up
folding
out
in on
the,
itself.
middle of a field. They are maneuvering, they wander around, they begin to march, they march off into the woods and then vanish. This has been seen a number of times.
Beyond the ghost stories, there are strange photographs that seem to have captured tangible evidence of a paranormal energy here.
I actually didn't believe in ghosts until I started taking pictures.
Tim and Debbie
One showed up
Sheeds.
in my pictures. The first time I actually believed there is something out there. I looked at it and I was shocked, and I said, Tim, I think we captured a ghost.
I think a lot of people just don't want to admit they believe in ghosts because it doesn't sound like something respectable.
Uh-oh, look at this
Charles
guy.
Emmons has been a professor of sociology at Gettysburg College since 1974. He believes that the psychic trauma of 1863 may endure today in the form of residual haunting and is not just...
He's like, I'm not a Civil War enthusiast like Mark Nesbitt. I'm a professor
limited to the battlefield.
at Gettysburg
This
University.
is Pennsylvania Hall. During the battle, it was used by both sides as a hospital.
Reenactments at a
4 or
local
5
park.
different people independently reported seeing a soldier walking around on the top of that cupola on Pennsylvania Hall. And I interviewed a student who had walked by there about 11 o'clock at night. He was very upset about the experience. He was not trying to hoax. He didn't want it to happen. He was obviously upset.
And inside, strange haunting images.
I don't think I've ever been to
Two
like a
administrators
war
went down the
reenactment.
elevator, punched the button for the first floor.
I've been to
It didn't
Gettysburg,
work
but
properly. They went to the basement instead, and when the
Doors opened to reveal not a scene
no
that
soldiers
was cleaned
present,
up for
ghosts
story,
or otherwise.
but a scene out of Time and Reason, a hospital scene from the time of the battle. They punched frantically at the buttons to get them out of this hell that they had descended into, and one
kept
of the
punching the buttons and eventually got up out of there.
But most of Gettysburg's ghostly encounters
So the
occurred
elevator opened like you were walking into a Civil War like triage tent or something.
here, on the battlefield where 51,000 men died.
Gettysburg probably, as far as I'm concerned, is probably the most haunted battlefield that I've come across so far.
Paranormal
Fire
investigator Dale
muskets
Kaczmarek was
at each
asked
other.
to accompany
I've
a
seen it in like
sightings team to
sitcoms.
the battlefield for a nighttime surveillance.
This area seems to be one of several different locations that's very active.
Looks like
as
a guy
far
from
as,
Always
paranormal
Sunny, the lawyer
activity.
that's got like the
A lot of
small
loss of
hands.
life would have occurred right here.
Among the tools of his trade are a Geiger counter, magnetometer, and other highly sensitive
Elevator
electronic
repairman,
devices
yes.
that will register anomalous energy in the area. Our sightings camera was equipped with a special night vision lens to record
Ooh, look at
in
this.
low light conditions.
Most likely what I'm picking up are small pockets of anomalies.
This was a $300,000 night vision filter at the time. Oh, thank you, Southwest. Thank you for the $2. Is that a super sticker? It's like a what is it? Like a pear? A pear giving a thumb. I couldn't tell if it was a bird or a pear.
In magnetic field, it might indicate
I covered a couple like LARPing events, but they're not really the same thing.
a presence of some kind.
Appreciate that,
Kaczmarek spent
Southwest.
several hours taking readings in an area known as the Triangular Field. This is the site where Confederate soldiers began the charge on Little Round Top.
Some of the bloodiest battles took place along this ridge. Right there, I
We'll
got a
add
real
that
high
to
reading.
the war
Real high
chest.
static discharge reading right here. Really no reason for
The
it. There's
weed
no-
chest.
There's no way static should be built up out here. Nothing to attract static electricity or negative
What's up,
ions.
Cosa Nostra?
And another reading right by the rock over here, which was approximately 20 on the scale.
Meter peaks and anomalous readings continued until dawn.
Renaissance Fair would be a
interesting out there,
fun
especially at the
IRL to
Triangular
do, but they
Field.
probably wouldn't let you.
We got a lot of interesting readings out there, including a lot of disturbances with the negative ion detector. I believe the area is infested, the word I like to use, infested by ghosts. not only because of the trauma that takes place
Infested.
here due to the battle, but surrounding the battle and the poor sanitary conditions, things of that nature. It's a location that leads itself to the existence and possibility of ghosts.
How would you feel if you were like somebody like playing the flute or the drums or some shit marching in there?
Residual haunting also seemed to be present in the inn where the sightings team
That
stayed.
would be crazy.
The Farnsworth House, built in 1816, had been an ad hoc infantry position during the war.
These particular men were sharpshooters. They were
Patio Day.
most
I like
likely
the
infantry
animal
soldiers,
print.
Confederate. They came into the house. Maybe the door was unlocked. They climbed the stairs. The vantage point and the most protection would serve would be the garret, which is the attic. They flew open the door. They laid down on their bellies. They had a great position. They were actually firing and killing Union soldiers in the Jenny Wade.
This is a great
Of a
episode.
neighboring inn. When the soldiers were captured, one of them was playing a mouth harp, a popular
The mouth
instrument
harp.
at the time. Guests claim they hear his music still, and Patty claims she's seen the ghost of one of the men.
I got a very fleeting glimpse of him.
What does a mouth harp sound
he's
like?
a very tall, willowy young man, about maybe 17. If you looked at him and didn't know your age, you would think he
What
was
is it?
like 30.
I gotta find. Oh, hang on. I gotta see what a mouth harp sounds like. I want to see what these kind of sounds these ghosts are making. What does a mouth harp sound like? Well, is that the same thing as a jaw harp? I know what a jaw harp sounds like. Here we go. Man, that's what I'm talking about, man. I like the mouth harp. Sounds like a horror movie soundtrack.
14 years old.
Despite credible eyewitnesses and new electronic data gathering methods, Professor Emmons
Yes,
believes
Southwest.
we may never
I remember
be able
that.
to scientifically prove the existence of the ghosts of Gettysburg.
There are other ways of knowing ghosts. If you have the experience, a kind of religious, supernatural experience, it does something to you. There's
This guy's
some
awesome.
sense of awe that tells you that something is happening here. And I don't know how exactly you study that scientifically. We may have to go beyond science to understand this phenomenon.
For now, the spirits of the men who fought
Oh my god, I watched a mall video yesterday. Some guy, the mall he went to when he was like a teenager and shit, was closing down forever. So he went on the last day that it was open, and it was a pretty like just normal, like, he kind of told some stories about the stores that had been in there and closed. But at one point, he for some reason needed the viewers to know that he had had sex with 2 women. Like, he really needed to stress that.
here can be
And whenever he said it, he phrased it like that he had had, quote, the sex with 2 women.
be captured when you stand on the battlefield and feel the sense of history.
I think since there was a lot of violence, especially the ones that were just literally ripped to pieces, I think they'll be remaining for a very, very long time.
Hold on a second. I have to try something. Just bear with me for a moment. Maybe
Here we go.
maybe this clip will work for it. Mouth harp sound like. Okay, here we go. You guys ready? See how this works. Oh no,
You're
this
going
guy's
to need a jaw harp, a real jaw harp.
this guy's just talking about the jaw harp. We need someone who's Come on, oh, here he goes. All right.
Let's go!
Oh no, it clicked over. God damn it. Sorry, I'm just poorly prepared. I wanted the OPC Jawheart music, but
Most Civil War battlefields do not survive as historic sites. They've been plowed up, paved over, and built upon. But beneath the concrete and steel of our modern age, the echoes of the past remain. Many people believe that
I thought it
if you
did
listen
suit
closely,
Barefoot Grace,
you
though.
can hear them still.
Next, a sightings update.
Happier
Earth seeks
times.
revenge, and we may have sealed our fate.
Through pollution, we could be very well ensuring our
Uh-oh,
extinction.
South to West is not gonna like this.
Recently, Sightings brought you alarming statistics about new and deadly viruses breaking out around the world. Proponents of the Gaia theory suggest
Well,
that these new viruses have been created
I hate to break the news to Tim White, but we know that the diseases aren't going to be a problem because Eric McHenry is going to cure them all.
Earth in self-defense. It's a theory that's gaining wider acceptance, and now it appears that Mother Nature is fighting back at us with more than just viruses.
I think the problem is much more serious than we hear in the media because the story is still breaking.
Everyone is involved. This is not one person's problem. This is everyone's problem.
The Gaia theory, first espoused by James Lovelock, suggests that Earth is a living
Environmental
entity
doomers,
capable of
yeah.
fighting off infection. In our last report, we brought disturbing evidence that the infection is us.
By cutting away and disrupting the balance, you have, in effect, Gaia's revenge. The ecosystem fights back, and it attacks
Gaia's
the people.
revenge.
It harms them with disease and drives them out.
According to Gaia theorists, Mother Earth's #1 enemy is overpopulation.
We are the threat. We are the problem. There are 5 billion of us on the planet. There is a $250 billion of human flesh on this planet.
Wow, what a way
And
to
the
phrase
flesh
it.
is weak. We are pouring billions of tons of garbage and chemicals into Gaia. Her immune system is badly deteriorating. Participants at a recent World Wildlife Symposium warned Gaia is struggling just to maintain the status quo.
Some of us were seeing that animals were getting sick and dying. Others were seeing that there are definite developmental effects, that birds had twisted beaks, that animals were developing tumors all over them.
Each and every year, 435 billion pounds of man-made chemicals are released into our world's ever-weakening environment.
Dude, this was a packed
Recent
episode, by the
studies
way.
suggest that these chemicals are disrupting hormone production, impairing the reproductive cycle of many animals. And we are
I don't
one
like
of those
them putting all
animals.
the chemicals in the
According to one
water that
study,
turn the
male
freaking
sperm
frogs
counts have dropped
gay.
40% since World War II.
The trend is unequivocal that male sperm counts have been dropping. And that could be the underlying explanation for the increase in infertility in men, but that will not explain why they're dropping. And that's the big question. What's going on out there?
This is what's going on out there, according to Gaia theorists. Since Gaia cannot absorb everything we feed into it, Gaia must attack the
Yeah,
source.
exactly.
It's us against the world. The first warning signals that this is the new reality are occurring here in the befouled waters of Lake Apopka in Florida. Wildlife biologist Tim Gross discovered that many
look at that guy.
alligators, turtles, and fish in the lake are neither male nor female. Their sexual development is mutating.
The effects that we're
They've been dumping refuse in this water for decades, and scientists struggle to figure out what's going wrong with the animals.
seeing that are quite dramatic are effects on the developing embryo. So in other words, these concentrations are
Dr. Tim
deposited in the
Gross.
eggs during the development of the egg in mom, they're quite toxic to an embryo, and they form major alterations in the sexual differentiation.
There are signs that these kinds of genetic disturbances are on the increase throughout the United States. Biologists are beginning to see what they refer to as gender warping occurring in a wide variety
Gender
of animal
warp.
species. Is this
Now, is there a hot spot in the Bay Area?
yet another weapon of Gaia's revenge? If males are not male and females are not female, they cannot reproduce and are therefore only one generation away from extinction. How far then are we from the same fate?
I think those people
Man,
who
they're really
say
getting
that
into
the
it here.
effects on wildlife are isolated events
Is this
will
the
have
same
no effect on
episode?
humans
Wow, we still got 10 minutes left. That's
are being
crazy.
overly reassuring.
Hormones are basically ubiquitous. In other words, they're shared by all
What an episode, dude.
animal species. In that the hormones that control reproduction
Oh,
in
look at him
alligators and
go.
turtles also control reproduction in humans. that is rather devastating.
Remember when me
because
and
it
those
can
two
create
women
major
watched the
fertility
turtles fuck at the
problems in
zoo?
the human population.
This affects all of us because some of these contaminants are present in all of our food and in our drinking water. A chemical present in our food and in our water can have potentially disrupting effects on a fetus, on any of us. As
Everyone's been a banger too.
pollution,
Even
we
the
could be
angel one
very
was
well
pretty good for a
ensuring our
kid's
own
story.
extinction.
But studies, some sponsored by chemical companies, conclude that the Earth and its inhabitants are resilient and will not
Studies, including ones made by the people who profit from this destruction.
suffer long-term effects. Infertility expert Dr. Michael Zinman is not convinced.
Exposing a pregnant woman.
Very McHenry coded,
to a
yes.
variety of so-called benign, no-problem chemicals have turned out to not be so benign and cause.
I do try to plan out each episode just so that we can maximize, get a good wrap up what we started in each stream.
Offspring's ability to have offspring.
By polluting Gaia, have we sealed our own fate? Has Earth become so riddled with the cancer of chemical waste that there's no cure in sight?
A large number of the public will believe this data, will take it to heart very seriously, and be very concerned. Their biggest question then immediately after that is, okay, there's a problem, how do I clean it up? That's where it's
The narrator is very
I don't know how
biased.
to clean it up. I don't know of any research indicating how we clean it up. Our cleanup methods currently are sort of bury it or hide it or just let it go.
Man, imagine watching this back in the day. You just be like, man, what a fucking great episode of Sightings. Maybe had a Domino's pizza and a 2 liter of Pepsi while you were watching it.
Long time, and hopefully it'll decay and disappear.
The problem is the average person on the street is not well enough informed to
Watch a great episode of Sightings, eat some pizza, drink some soda, put on a lingerie stream.
about it. If people could become
Head to the back of the
educated
RV.
about potential threats to their health and that of their family and children, then that's probably a way to get them more involved.
Since humankind began, there has never been a time of global peace and understanding. Political, philosophical, and religious
Awesome.
differences continue.
Man, what a sneak diss.
Since humankind began, there has never been a time of global peace and understanding. Political, philosophical,
I thought
and
we were doing
religious
good during
differences
Pokemon
continue
Go.
to divide nations. But perhaps Gaia's ultimate gift to us will be a global peace created by the universal battle to save this planet.
Next, if extraterrestrials
Wrong.
don't exist, why do government agencies have plans for UFO emergencies?
Our guiding principle is basically protecting the populace.
Can't get much better of a night than that.
If, as the U.S. government maintains, flying saucers don't exist, why are there government protocols about what to do in the event of a UFO crash? If there is no threat, why do disaster preparedness manuals used by the Federal Emergency Management Agency include information about what to do in the event of an extraterrestrial encounter? Stardate 2317.4. Encounter with a civilization unknown to the Federation. Proceed with extreme caution, and above all, do not interfere with this newfound society. That's
Don't
UFO
interfere.
protocol Star Trek style, where men and women boldly go in search of life beyond our planet. Stardate 1995. Encounter with a UFO unknown to the United States government.
Man, we're still
Since
going.
the possibility cannot be ignored that UFOs reported may be hostile, it is imperative that sightings be reported rapidly, factually, and as completely as possible. This is not another prime directive from the fantasy world of Star Trek. It is official United States
is
Air
all
Force
too
UFO
real.
protocol, taken directly from the pages of this operations manual.
Jedi Joy was removed from the Air
And the
Force
Air
because
Force
she
is not the
wouldn't
only
be
federal
quiet
agency
about
with
her
a written
involvement in the
policy
GATE
on close
initiative.
encounters.
We tell them, don't touch, don't come in contact with, isolate, be friendly, be solicitous.
We spoke to
display
the
no
Cincinnati
hostility,
fire chief.
and take very good precaution that we do not become involved if we do not have to.
William Kramer is a district fire chief in Cincinnati, Ohio.
Do you want me to go down to
who has literally
one of the
written a
local
book on what to do
firehouses
in
and
the
see
event
what
of a
they know
UFO
about it?
crash? It's part of the Fire Officer's Guide to Disaster Control, a training manual used in all 50 states and reportedly endorsed by FEMA.
As far as we know, this is the first time this subject, subject of unidentified flying objects has actually been incorporated into a larger, full-length text that's being used in a very serious way by the nation's fire officials.
But why does Chief Kramer believe that a chapter on flying saucers is essential to his disaster training textbook?
One of the reasons is the obvious real panic that exists when people feel they're being threatened by some unexplained phenomenon, including UFOs.
UFOs doesn't inherently mean aliens, though. You know what I mean?
An alien visitor could wreak some sort of havoc on a given populace.
When Sightings asked FEMA, the Federal Emergency Management Agency, to comment on the manual's Chapter 13, the UFO chapter,
they executed one of our executive producers,
stating FEMA does not endorse or embrace the information in that chapter.
Sorry, it's me.
Sightings has learned through FEMA's own disaster defense planning guide that the agency not only assigns Chapter 13 of the Disaster Control Manual as required reading, but also tests its own disaster officials on its contents.
One of the reasons there's probably a government cover-up is that
I'll just walk and be like, can we talk about the UFOs?
Suddenly realize we are not alone.
I gotta get a drink. I'll be right back.
Our social order is based on the fact that we are the whole sum total of life's existence right here on this planet.
The wholesale disruption of planet Earth would be the ultimate foreign policy disaster. According to investigator George Knapp, it is a possibility that did not escape the attention of at least one former president.
It's very curious. I know of 3 speeches in particular that he made. Some say it's as high as 5, in which he says, wouldn't it be something if we were suddenly threatened by some alien force, we'd all get to...
Oh, also, Bethadone did message me to tell me the other day that I was giving false information on my stream when I said that she was using her Twitch to watch old art freaks, that there are some old art freaks being shown there, but that there are also new premieres regularly. But she said she was certain that it was just a mistake and that I would correct it. So I am correcting the bad information. It's not just old art freaks. It's also new art freak premieres.
Together. And of course, he's making this statement to Gorbachev. He made it to the United Nations. What kind of message was he trying to get across?
Big George.
I have a hard time believing that it's just a coincidence.
While President Reagan
Mattress advisor.
The possibility of alien spacecraft, other federal agencies have not been so
deadlines and commitments, what to leave in, what to leave out. True.
The Air Force and FEMA. The FAA, the Federal Aviation Administration, has its own guidelines.
Some people hope and pray for extra minutes or hours.
That any astronaut who comes in contact with an extraterrestrial must be quarantined.
We know for a fact that there are various forms of radiation that exist in outer space. It's very possible that a visitor from outer space could bring this type of radiation to this country. There is, in fact, a national law that mandates the quarantining of any astronaut or other person who has actually encountered some sort of an unidentified flying object or has been involved in some sort of an encounter that's out of the ordinary.
Do you think, though, that that's really an issue? I feel like we don't really know. I mean, you can think whatever theories or whatever, but we really don't know what's out there. So it just kind of makes sense to be like, hey, if something really crazy happens up there, we should probably have like just a general contingency plan if they come into contact with, you know, anything unexpected.
The more
you wouldn't want to figure that out on the fly, right? You'd want to have a basic
things out there.
Kind of plan.
Spaceflight itself broadens your horizons.
Story Musgrave, okay.
Kind of open up to possibilities.
Dr. Story Musgrave has been a NASA scientist and astronaut for 27 years and is a veteran of 5 space shuttle missions. He believes that UFO protocols are in place not because we have already been visited, but because eventually we will be.
That's what spaceflight is about. It's about exploration.
This is the longest episode in human history.
I can see no reason that would be classified in any way, and I wouldn't let it be.
He wouldn't let it be.
These UFO protocols
Story
are based
Musgrave.
on the assumption that a UFO contact will be a threat, be belligerent, and will cause widespread panic. But what if the UFOs come in peace?
It's me. What do you think about that lady I met at the seafood counter?
As we are to declare war.
Did you watch the video enough to hear when I went past her again and told her I liked her cowboy boots and she was complimenting my clothes? I was like dying.
Sightings has expanded its America Online area. Keyword Sightings when you log
What's
on
up?
for
What's
access to
up,
sightings,
BB?
stories, images, and events. To subscribe to America Online,
Space
call
Boss.
1-800-591-334.
Dude, this was a sick episode. Like, it was, every story was a banger in this one.
And you can still reach Sightings 24 hours a day at 1-900-933-7444.
Until next time, remember, no mystery is closed to an open mind. For Sightings, I'm
Well, 6'9", but she doesn't play there right now. They don't have anyone that tall at the moment, but they have some pretty tall people on there. I'm going to call it, I don't know. I'm going to do the viewer mail this time. I think next time I'm going to try to get, I'm just going to ask for if I can get like a statement or something from like the coach of the Stanford women's volleyball team to put on my sports news show. Classic Butterface, wow. Dressed up like she was going out. Wasn't it Saturday? Was it Saturday? Yeah, I was out there Saturday night, right? She was there with another woman. I don't know what they were shopping for, but I saw them again in the ice cream aisle.
On this edition of Sightings, what's inside Hangar 18?
And Gobbledygook. Wow, we have a real
we have the bodies from the crash.
we got a lot of quality female representation.
We think Dorothy is going to give the police the lead.
Many fine women in the chat.
Later, is it chance or can you control luck?
Just got a funny feeling, and I won $7 million. It's incredible.
Also, when we die, where does our soul go?
We don't even know. I agree. There's lots of crazy shit.
A ballroom filled with hundreds and hundreds of people, all of whom had gathered for a party.
Plus, a Michigan woman is abducted by aliens and now heals the sick.
She has a
Oh my God, no way.
like anything else I've seen before.
And
Healing the sick.
life on Mars?
Maybe we're
Eric
all
McHenry related. The women's squad. I gotta go get some more weed. Sorry.
Welcome to Sightings. I'm Tim White. There have been persistent rumors that alien wreckage and remains
Oh yeah,
of Roswell,
abduction
New
story.
Mexico were stored in Hangar 18 at
Hold on, let's see what this one is. What's inside Hangar 18? Monticello murder. Waiting room for the soul and Michigan. Interesting.
Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, Ohio. In the
Vinny Sugar.
1960s, responding to the rumors,
Oh, yeah, he
Senator
was here
Barry
both
Goldwater
streams.
asked former Air Force Chief of Staff Curtis LeMay.
He said he
"What's
thanked me for
inside Hangar
tagging
18?"
him in
According to
a
Goldwater, LeMay
short
said,
that I posted
"Don't
about a
ever ask me
McDonald's
that
hash
question
brown.
again." But Sightings is asking, what is inside Hangar 18?
We've heard about Hangar 18 before, right?
There have been a certain percentage of this volume of reports that have been made by credible observers.
Wait, is that the guy the college is named after?
Incredible things.
But where are these incredible things today? There is a long and voluminous
Oh,
paper trail of
is that the song that Luna sang? No way, what a coincidence. That would have real synchronicity.
points in one direction that points to a top secret
Sweet,
location
did you call
known
him
as
Sweet
Hangar
Vinny
18
Sugar?
at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base in Dayton, Ohio.
John Slugga here, doing an
Many
unboxing of a
UFO researchers
used
believe that at one time, wreckage from
CPAP
Roswell
machine.
and other UFO crash sites, as well
guy's
as the
a
bodies
nut,
of
man.
alien beings, were brought here for
John
underground
Slugga.
storage. Of course, the Air Force denies these charges, but ufologists counter
Or
that their
Sluga.
denials are a prime
Vinny
example of
Slugga,
the
John
box watching
Sluga.
the henhouse door.
Everything reminds me of the lady from
But
Kroger.
why Hangar 18 when there were desert bases much closer to the original crash sites? Why truck the wreckage to a base thousands of miles away? There were several
That's pretty cool.
advantages to using Wright-Patterson, according to Professor Michael Swords.
Luna's trolling me. She watched ahead. Oh my, come on. Professor Mike Swords.
Standard Air
Look how cool that name is. And then look, the guy it looks like Charles Nelson Riley.
Force Base at Patterson Field
and it had a
Tapped into the
high-technology
Matrix.
testing facility at Wright Field. In between the two fields, it also had something unique to our government, and that was the Technical Intelligence Organization, so-called T2, or what became the Foreign Technology Division.
During the Second World War, T2, the Foreign Technology Division, would receive crashed
Well, he
German
wouldn't let
rockets
Vinny
and
use it
aircraft.
either.
Their job was to reverse engineer the craft.
Vinny was
T2's
like, I can
quarters were
use?
allegedly far underground in a maze of secret laboratories at Wright-Patterson.
This is the sort of division that would have been appropriate to use for the investigation of UFO research and ultimately became the home for Project Sign and Blue Book.
Rumors of UFO secrets being kept here have become part of Dayton,
We're all
Ohio
friends
folklore.
here, south to
In a
west.
series of news reports,
Just
local
a
anchor
chuckle and a
Carl
pat
Day
on the
set out
back,
to
and
determine if
everything's
any of
good
the
again.
rumors were true.
Well, recently we investigated the rumors about Hangar 18 and in particular the
Carl
Roswell
Day.
connection to Wright-Patt.
In July 1947, eyewitnesses at the Roswell crash site saw military personnel load wreckage onto trucks and cart it away. Destination unknown.
We found that the wreckage from Roswell, probably, at least part of it, did arrive at Wright-Patt around that time. What happened to it? We couldn't find any record of that. We found that was sort of interesting.
If, as the Air Force maintains, the wreckage was a weather balloon, why would it be transported via secret convoy from Roswell to Dayton?
Truthfully,
And
Trisha is
once
live.
there,
Oh,
why would all record
I wish
of
I
a
could
weather
watch
balloon
her.
retrieval disappear? The answer may lie
Trisha.
here with Alfred Letting, an engineer who, upon his retirement from T2, received a U.S. patent for this strange flying saucer design.
Al Ludding could have been influenced in his design by an alien type of technology, because when you look at his design, it is a low aspect,
Oh, yeah, I love Truthfully
sort
Trisha.
of ellipsoid-shaped craft with
if
two
she would have been easy to work with, like, or just been tolerable to work with and not, like, attacked me constantly, like, I don't even know that I've ever would have, like, started Thorpe Alert, because I was doing Trisha stuff, I think, even before the Grace stuff.
tiny tabs on the back that was taken extremely seriously by the Air
Nothing like, though,
It
Thorpe
was
Alert
during
turned
Lettings
into. I just
tenure
kind
at
of kept
Wright-Patterson
people on the
that the Air
stream
Force
updated
conducted
what she was
Project Blue
doing.
Book, its only publicly acknowledged UFO study. Ufologists believe Blue Book was simply a cover, designed to divert attention away from the real work going on deep underground. According to the nephew of then Deputy Head of Procurement Jack Donahue, autopsies were being
Bob
performed
Lazar.
on humanoid, but not human, creatures.
My Uncle Jack had a top secret security clearance when he worked at
James
Wright-Patterson at the
Donahoe.
time. The strangest story that he ever accounted to me was the day that he asked me if
I did a beautiful
had
tribute to
heard
her.
of a
Incredible. I gave a
UFO crash
keynote
out in
speech
Phoenix,
about
Arizona. He said, "We have
why
the
I like
bodies
that kind of content,
from
and
the
she
crash."
copyright struck it.
He said, "We went down to the cold storage area."
Donahue allegedly
The
told
Sanctuary
his
of
nephew
Boy-
that he
yeah,
was
like
led down a
Casablanca.
series of twisting hallways to a secret room.
There was a stainless steel table in this room that was arranged a little bit like a laboratory. The man, he said, "Look at this." Jack looked at the body. Jack told me that at the time they were doing full autopsies on the bodies. The head was shaped basically like a human head, only it was small. He said, "We better not spend very much time here," and they left the room. I tried to bring it up at a later date. He said, "Forget him. Just forget about the whole incident." And I said, "What do you mean, forget it?" He said, "Just
I don't
forget
know.
it. It never happened."
Well, there are still people that absolutely believe that alien bodies and UFO
Imagine just
wreckage are
going on a
still here
TV
this
show,
base,
just fucking saying whatever
and
you
that the
wanted to
bodies
and
are
acting
kept
like
in
it was
cryogenic suspension
reality.
somewhere underneath Wright Field.
Legendary
It's really
UFO
fun.
researcher Leonard Stringfield investigated Hangar 18 for close to 50 years. In a rare interview just prior to his death in 1994, Stringfield told
I do
Sightings
like
that
this
he
sketch
had been
footage.
able to track the progress of wreckage and alien bodies retrieved in several different parts of the Southwest.
In the beginnings, some of them were shipped to areas in Los Alamos, in the western sensitive
Collector
areas
plate
from
in the background.
Albuquerque on down to Los Alamos and the whole region of New Mexico. And oftentimes for further analyses or study why they were sent to Wright-Patterson.
I'm sorry, with all due respect
I
to
was
Vinny
told by
Slugga.
one
Alexa,
intelligence
turn
source
off.
Here, some years ago, that they had 30 alien bodies underground at Wright-Patterson Field alone up to 1966.
And reports persisted well into the next decade that alien bodies were still being stored at Wright-Patterson.
One of the most interesting discoveries, I think, has to be the alleged alien jawbone that we uncovered. Officials within the Air Force intelligence community have told me that they had determined back in the 70s,
What's he got there, a shrimp?
that this was an alien jawbone. I can't have anybody go on record, however, now as saying that. I think the Air Force is hiding a lot of things. They are developing here on this base a lot of super secret weapon systems for the future. Those should be kept secret. They did issue a statement, though, that there are no aliens or UFO pieces on this base now.
At the end of the 1950s, 3 aeronautic engineers
Who's this
left what
blurry
was then
trad in
Wright
the
Field
background?
and returned to civilian life. Within 1 year, all 3 applied for patents with the U.S. Patent Office. All 3 wanted to patent
Alien
flying
autopsy. Yeah, it was
saucer
really
designs.
creepy.
We'll have more on those patents on an upcoming edition of Sightings.
What about an alleged alien jawbone
Police
harp?
turn to a psychic for help.
When the police ask me a question, right then and there I'm seeing a picture.
Dorothy Allison uses her psychic ability
Isn't
for
that
one
where the one
purpose and
president
one
lived,
purpose
like his
only.
crib?
She solves crimes. Just recently, she was able to locate the body of a murder victim in Vancouver, Canada, when law enforcement thought that they'd reached an impasse. Now, a family in Monticello, Iowa, is hoping Dorothy can help. Perhaps
Monticello,
a psychic
Iowa,
punch
probably
will
not the
finally
same
put their
place.
family tragedy to rest.
The killer was down in this basement. I feel that the killer was in the basement first, and then he come upstairs.
Terrifying.
So this is the bedroom, I believe, where she was killed.
Whoa, look at this
And
guy,
is the
man.
spot.
What a bruiser.
See?
22-year-old Kathy Jo Cox-Bulkin.
Trisha's professing her love. I just like to watch her. I find her to be very relaxing.
Just 1993. Kathy's death haunts
She's a great
everyone in
yapper.
tiny Monticello, Iowa.
And ATF Media would like her too, because she is one of few people, along with Eric McHenry and Ben and Grace Thorpe, who will openly fart on stream.
Is still at large. The police are running out of leads, so they met with psychic detective Dorothy Allison at the request of Sightings.
My first phone call to Dorothy kind of put the hair up on the back of my neck. She had mentioned a name of a person we had talked to, and she had no idea, you know, who we were dealing with or anything else.
This guy could have made big money on the circuit.
Kind of makes things a little eerie. And
Dorothy's psychic impressions of the crime begin to come out as soon as she arrives in Monticello. She and Chief Walters move quickly to follow up on the explosion of images racing through Dorothy's mind.
So this is where I feel the person that killed
She's praying for you?
Kathy
Awesome.
hangs out in. When the police ask me a question,
It's a
right
fucking
then and there,
crime,
seeing a
dude,
picture.
that YouTube has
killer
these restrictive fucking
somehow
copyright
comes
things,
along
man.
this
I should
path.
be covering Truthfully Trisha. I'm getting
Monticello,
heated. I gotta
population
calm down.
3,500, is a small farming and factory
I gotta
town
keep it together.
unused to the big city horrors of rampant crime.
Still got 2 hours
The last
left.
time someone was murdered here was in 1974. Kathy's parents, who own a popular convenience store in town, recall how they discovered
Oh my
that
god,
their
remember
daughter was
that
dead.
when she was training to fight the
Yeah,
Liver
call
King?
from,
Oh
our
my god,
customers
such
that-
Kino.
about 8:30 that morning, the 26th.
Did that incredible, like, what was it, 20 miles or something on the exercise bike, and we watched the whole thing?
Of December, and said, "Do you know your store isn't open?"
After failing to get his daughter
That's
on the
true.
telephone,
She did have an
he went to her
OnlyFans.
house.
But she
Just
said
pushed on
that
the
it wasn't
door
just
with the
any,
latch,
like, wiener. It was a wiener that she was in love
Walked in
with.
and yelled her name.
And then she
2 or 3
cried and
times,
said
no
that she
answer,
loved
and
that wiener. That was on the video
walked
that
back
she
to her
copyright
bedroom and,
struck. Sweaty down blouse, yeah.
When I did go over there, they were coming
She
back
is
when I
brutal
met me,
on the chat, for sure.
And he just jumped out of the car. And
Which
said
is
he was
weird
lost.
because, like, we get along when I talk to her in chat, because I'm, you know, I talk to her and she's nice to me. But then if I try to cover her in any way at all, she's like, she threatened me on the stream before.
Kathy left behind one son, Michael, now 4 years old.
She's like, you need to stop what you're doing or bad things are going to happen.
She's such a good-hearted person.
Oh, there's a guy that
She
played
was,
Aquaman.
You know, down to earth, and I don't see where, you know, she didn't have a bad bone in her
Truthfully,
whole body.
Trisha, when you get it
She's
together,
just
girl.
Good, you know.
I want to tell your story.
Smiling, and you know, nothing really bothered her or got to her. but down-to-earth person.
Among the images confronting Dorothy is a hunting lodge with horses nearby.
Find a person who
Chief
loves the
Walters
wiener
takes her
more
to
than
a
the person.
location
Yeah,
just
there you go.
outside of Monticello that matches her
She
psychic
did seem
vision
pretty
to a
affectionate
T.
toward it in the photos that I saw.
From here. And somebody she knew. This is not a stranger who walked in on her. But I do think her murder was planned. I don't think it just happened. I think this person was angry with her, very upset.
Our hopes are really up because we think Dorothy is going to give the police the leads to solve this case.
I get the feeling she met this person.
You know what I think the problem was with that Truthfully Trisha video that got copyright struck is that I always tag the people normally that I cover, unless it's someone that I cover all the time. Then I only cover the clip. I only tag them in the clips, but I tagged her, so we got through the whole video fine, but then I just tagged her to let her know, and then she copyright struck me. So maybe that's my fault. Maybe if I hadn't tagged her, I could have kept it off the radar for a minute.
Around June or July.
I wonder if I deleted that stream or if it's still available. Well, no, I think if he gets struck, they take it down completely.
And I believe she insulted him in many ways, and he took whatever she said as a big insult.
Dorothy's visions continue.
Yeah, I have
to
no
match
Truthfully
people and
Trisha
places
content on
familiar
my
to the
page.
local police.
I have
They
some
asked
though in my
Dorothy to work with a
archive.
sketch artist to build a composite of the killer.
His hair is medium brown, parts it to the right.
Truthfully
His
Trisha,
eyes
man, what a
spread far
talent.
apart. Trying to make him younger looking too. You know, late 20s, early 30s.
And I remember a girl that used to work behind a convenience store counter
18
at her father's
viewers.
store that her life's been snuffed out. We need to bring justice to her crime. And we're going to have
She
our
had this
killer
video of
behind
her like
bars.
singing
We
karaoke
have to
inside of
know
her. She was living in like an
who
RV
did
for a
this.
while.
We have to know he's put away, that he's paying his penalty. He took our joy away. He took our hope away.
You have to survive every day. And he did destroy Kathy, but we can't let him destroy us.
Truthfully Trisha, my holy grail.
He didn't destroy Kathy's spirit because he lives on through all of us.
To be clear, I do think if I fought it and she was probably the type of person who would take it to court. I think if I fought it, I would win, but it's just such a hassle. And then do I really want to be like combative with someone that I'm covering? Not really. You know what I mean? It's just like but I do think it is, especially if these kind of like deep dive videos, I think are definitely fair use.
Here is another look at the man Dorothy
She is,
Allison
man.
believes
Trisha
murdered
is
Kathy Jo
an
Bolton.
absolute goat.
If you have any information about this case, please contact the Monticello, Iowa Police Department.
Next, when we die, where does our spirit go?
We went
I never
back
seen
to a
anybody
teaching pod.
deep
What we were
throat
doing was
corn on the
bringing each
cob
other
like
up
that
on
before.
our previous lives. The Circle of Life is more than just a hit song.
Take it to the Supreme. I don't want to fight with her though.
It is the
You know
tenet
what
of
I
a number
mean?
of
Like, why would?
religions that embrace the concept of
I
reincarnation.
don't get it. I don't know what.
And
I don't know what her
for
problem with
believers,
me
the
is.
circle of life is a way of explaining what happens after we die. We simply go back to the place we were before we were born.
I mean, some of you watched the Truthfully Trisha stream that I did on Twitch. Do you think I was disrespectful or overly mean to her? I mean, there is a little bit of roasting, but I mean that's true of everyone that we watch. Like, I don't think I was mean to her or put her down or defamed her or anything like that.
Room for the soul. Is death an overture or the final?
Truthfully, dude,
Buddhists
for
believe
real
that
though,
after
man,
death,
some
we all
heavies.
walk a passageway from one lifetime to the next. That passageway is called Bardo. A place where
Deep
your
throating
karma,
corn.
the sum total of your life's good and bad deeds, determines your next incarnation.
She was just like,
In
took it
Catholicism, there is also a place
took
between
it
heaven
straight
and
down.
hell,
It was
where
nuts.
souls are evaluated.
Wild.
Catholicism certainly has the
Seafood
very
mukbang.
definite teachings about purgatory. And purgatory, people usually think of it in negative terms. It's a very positive thing. I mean, you're on the outskirts of heaven. You're sort of in the suburbs of the divine city.
Father Stephen Frost is a Catholic priest and a renowned religious scholar.
I felt bad when VP was in here the other day, and I was telling her how much I love this season of content, and she was telling me like what a complete like emotional nightmare it's been for her. And I was like, yeah, but it's really Kino.
old as human consciousness, but certainly is right there in the beginning.
But how can we know that such a place exists? Catholics know because they have faith.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I'm fair
because
with
they've been
everybody,
there.
with all of them.
When
Like,
I
I don't ever
floated
wish
away
any
from my body,
ill will
I
on
looked
these people.
down. I don't mean to insinuate that I still had a body and had eyes, but
Seems
I
like a
could
phony.
see everything around me.
Who,
I
truthfully,
could see that
Trisha?
there was a woman who was crying, and as I got higher, I see in the distance there is something that I am going towards.
She may, oh yeah. She's got she has some she has some pretty dedicated trolls. I don't know for sure. It's always, you know, they said whatever as far as how far the trolls have gone, but she has some very dedicated trolls that kind of keep an eye on her. There are people who clip her, but not nearly as much as you would think for like how crazy her content is.
Shapes become more and more distinct.
Canadian man named Matt.
Reached the very threshold of an afterlife. The vision
I
occurred
miss
while
Matt
she
too.
was
I
exploring her past
clipped
lives
Matt for a
under
while, if you
hypnosis.
remember that.
I could see
But
that
I
it
folded
was
it into Thorpe
a
Alert
person
though.
who was very tall and dressed in a robe, rather like a monk. And as I got even closer, probably as far as you and I are away right now, about 2 feet, I realized that this person was very, was waiting for me.
He's like, I'm not stalking her. I saw truthfully Trisha in my dream.
Richard Wood is a real estate
Dick
developer in
Wood,
Northern
are you
California.
kidding me? Come
He does
on.
not know Colleen, but their recollections of a waiting room for the soul are almost identical.
Ruby is applying for a restraining
As I
order.
was pulling back from the body that I had just...
In what, for what? What, did something happen recently? Don't you feel like a judge would be like, now hold on a second here, Rubster, you had this incident with them where a physical line was crossed perhaps, but then you have made all this content about it and talked about it, and now all this time later you want to file? Or is there like is there a new threat, or is this just trying to finally file from the old thing?
left. I experienced coming into this bright white.
No, Matt's not her stalker.
And as it felt like, as I turned around, there was my spirit guide to meet me at that point.
Well, I remember Matt had that kind of embarrassing thing where he posted his dick and it wasn't as big as whoever's dick he was trying to compete with, and he left for a long time. But, I mean, I don't really think anybody cares about that. I mean, people might have, like, a little bit of a laugh or whatever, but, like, I don't think anybody's gonna hold that against him. Like, who cares? And I think I always liked watching his content. He'd have, like, things where he would be at a bar, like, playing music to, like, you know, for people to put money in a hat and shit like that. I thought he had good content. Mechanic content.
Colleen and Richard are both clients of Dr. Michael Newton, a noted hypnotherapist and past life researcher.
A spirit guide
Their presence in New Haven.
is an individual
Well, I don't know what to tell Ruby, but if you tell a judge that makes you look bad. If you're like, if I'm threatened, or if I don't like the vibe, like I go on the warpath, that doesn't make, I don't think a judge would want to give a restraining order. They would maybe file one on Ruby in that situation, because she would be basically admitting like that she can't control her temper. So I don't know. I'm not a lawyer though.
Who is very, very old, and who is the first intelligent being to meet
Remove the
people
Thorpe
after
emoji.
death.
Dr. Newton lives in Grass Valley, California. His book,
Must
Journey
be
of
serious
Souls,
then.
contains case studies that he's compiled over the past 10 years.
I have learned.
How do you guys think this
that
makes
when
me
we
feel? I'm a moderator in both chats. Do you know what it feels like to be in this situation? This is like a big Kramer versus Kramer.
Of a spirit guide, we are talking about a higher entity, which is a teacher.
And so he led me into a...
Well, Vegan was very smart. She made a lot of really good Kino legal decisions. We all remember the Windy Day document party in the park, and the Truth Symposium showing all the DMs.
a ballroom.
I
A
still
huge
can't
ballroom
believe
filled
she
with
got it.
hundreds
That
and
was
hundreds
like
of people. All of whom had gathered. for a
Like,
party. And every
what a
single
moment.
person
Like,
in a good
I
mood,
literally
jolly,
couldn't believe it when
happy
I
to
heard
see
that they
me.
granted
Hi,
the
how
restraining
are you?
order.
Where have you been?
Not because of strength of case.
good
I
to
didn't
see
really
you
pay
back.
that much attention, but
After
it was
my
just
spirit
wild
guide
to see
Arnon
someone in
met
the
me,
Boyd actually get
we
like a
went
legal
back
win.
to a teaching pod, which is a gathering or a group of
Matt was showing
other
knives.
spirits that I'm a member of.
According to Dr. Newton, the teaching pod that Wood describes is a common thread among those who claim to have experienced this prelude to the afterlife.
Close your eyes for
Well,
a
I
moment
should
and
say I was a
imagine
mod
room
in both last time I checked. I don't think I've done anything to upset either of them.
without anything in it. A room without walls.
I also have a wrench
I
in
know you don't
Luna
wanna do
Stars
this,
chat.
but it's true, and this is what this place looked like.
So what goes on in these classrooms is essentially lesson learning. They review the lives just lived and how they compare to lives that they have lived before, and lives which are to be lived in the future in terms of what still needs
I
to be
find
learned.
legal content to be very intriguing. The Thorpes have done some amazing legal content. Remember when they actually did a stream from, I think, at the courthouse? So they were in front of all those books. That was a fucking Kino stream, man. That was an amazing one. But especially if there's actually like shit filed and there's like real stakes, then I mean, like, yeah.
This
Then
is a
it's super
place
compelling.
that souls go to be restored, and that is exactly what
I don't
we
even know
need
that I
after
believe any
living.
of it.
The ultimate goal of a soul is to really stop reincarnating because they have in fact learned all the lessons that they were intended to learn. They don't need physical bodies anymore to achieve this information.
Dr. Newton has come to believe that
Ben
his
Thorpe said
clients
you can't
must
stay
serve as
neutral. No
messengers for the
neutral people
afterlife,
and no
and their
liars.
message is one of hope and renewal.
The most startling or incredible thing that I learned from my research has to be the fact that there is a God.
This experience has made me fall in love with my own life because I know who I am. And I know that you are just as important and complex and wonderful as I am.
Well, listen, I think there's a clip of Ben getting mad at me because people were putting inward towers in the Thorpe chat and I didn't do anything. I'm not there to work.
To see for myself.
That wrench is like, it's a prestige
in my
wrench.
own
Wouldn't you
life.
guys agree? Oh, I've got one in VP's chat too. I feel like it's just I feel like the wrenching me is like, it's just a prestige wrench for me, you know? It's like
that there's no death.
You can't actually expect me to
fear
moderate
for me,
anything.
as there was previously.
I think the important thing is that we create these symbolic.
You didn't know Luna did
sort of
lives?
dramas
Oh man, yeah,
ourselves.
her chat's pretty rough. It gets pretty wild in there.
Whether they're dream experience or vision experience or different types of poetic experience.
Is this Seth
it
MacFarlane?
Takes us into touch with things that are eternal.
When I walk through an old cemetery like this,
No,
I think
Kino
of
like
these
cinema.
departed souls, and it's comforting now in light of all of the years of
Like when the Boyd people like start to crest, you reach that like the Kino zone. Like Eric McHenry's last video was, to me, just that one was start to finish Kino.
research I've spent.
But made all the richer because we had taken the journey to get there instead of just rushing straight to the money shot, you know.
To know what really happened
We had to
them,
kind of
and that they are happy,
content
and
goon
many
for
of
a
them
while,
have
but it
gone
was
on to
worth
new
it.
lives.
Skeptics
My
debunk
sacred duties as a
reincarnation by
Boyd
pointing out
moderator.
that there are more living people on the earth right now than have ever died. So there just aren't enough souls to go around. But believers counter that reincarnation is only one of many methods by which we achieve that
Not enough
supernatural
souls to go around.
known as the soul.
Coming up, an entire family is abducted by extraterrestrials.
My husband woke up on a table.
Nobody
being
wants to be
examined by
moderated
3
in a Boyd
grays.
Then, can
channel.
you control luck?
I've seen myself winning the lottery twice.
Later, is there life on Mars?
And like honestly, like I'm not complaining. I think it's awesome to have a wrench in Thorpe TV chat. But it's not like that's something that's viewed as a universal positive. Like there are people who will immediately form an opinion about you if they know, I mean, especially being like a VP mod, but like being a moderator in any of these people's streams, like there are people that like are gonna like immediately judge you or make assumptions based off the fact that you've got a wrench in that channel. Or they'll just hate you because of it, too.
It is the sheer terror that people recall most vividly when describing what they believe has been an alien abduction experience. But now, some abductees are claiming that, along with the momentary terror, they are experiencing a profound and positive long-term effect.
There is a lot of anti-mod sentiment.
I woke up in the middle of the night, and I felt that there was someone along.
Especially in the Thorpe chat, because ZXV is a managing moderator, I think, so he can time out other mods. And it just acts like a complete maniac as a moderator. So a lot of people are pissed off all the time if we're getting timed out or hidden or whatever, and so they don't know who's, for sure doing it.
Side of the bed. And
I did
reached
time
my right
Lalo
hand
out the other day, though,
and
for
I
like 10
touched
seconds.
the shoulder of someone who would
She
probably
does,
be the
too.
size of a 5-year-old. I was paralyzed. I couldn't move. It was total terror.
She has asked to use the pseudonym.
Do you think Savvy would
She does not
consider
want
her to be a
viewers
good
know
woman?
Who she is, only what she is, an abductee.
I feel like
Terror
Luna
began in
is building with
1989
King
and
Lee.
came to light after a local paper invited readers to call in with
She
their
definitely
UFO
celebrates him.
experiences.
She was very frightened. That came through loud and clear.
Reporter Holly
Look at this
Kogan
computer.
knew Judy's call was different.
Oh my
When I
God.
spoke with Judy, she came across as a very honest person.
I love
had
the
no reason
tech.
to think
Holly
that she was doing
Kogan.
anything but saying what she believed. So I went out to her home with the expectation that it was going to be interesting and legitimate.
Kogan's resulting
So I went out to her home with the expectation that it was going to be interesting and legitimate.
What was her name?
Kogan's resulting article described a woman with a history of multiple abductions and vivid recollections of encounters with small gray creatures.
It was almost as though they were saying, ready or not, here we come. But I didn't know at the time
That's how arthritis was made.
what was going on because I didn't know about alien abductions.
The impact of abductions on people's lives is a very powerful one.
At Eastern Michigan University, sociology professor Dr. Ron Westrom has studied the impact
Oh, look
of
at
the
this guy.
abduction phenomenon on individuals and on society as a whole.
The person adapts and they just sort of somehow manage to work it into their
Look
life.
at this guy's hands
until
going. I
every
love
so
it.
often something happens to them that makes them suddenly
We're getting a little
confront,
energy
this really
going.
is happening. This is not just a dream. You can't just dismiss it.
For months, Judy's family did not believe the bizarre stories she was telling them about her abductions. But then, without warning, the terror that had isolated her from the family began to spread. Now, her husband and sister claimed that they were being abducted too. What was once a single case of alien abduction had now become what researchers term a multiple cross-generational family abduction.
My husband and I had problems. We came close to a divorce over this until he woke up on a table.
Sorry, I was thinking of
being
when Jim
examined by
Cornette was talking
3
about Jimmy
grays.
Havoc. I don't know
This is
why, it just
something
popped in
that
my head.
We didn't ask for, we didn't want, and it's totally changed our lives.
One night I went to bed and I had brushed my hair before I went to bed. The next
Jane
morning
is a
I
trad
woke
because a
up,
trad couldn't appear, wouldn't want to be on television. That would be too vain.
was doing my hair and my hair had been cut to like an inch in certain spots on my head.
Was
And
Brutus
I went in and
Beefcake
checked my pillow.
in the
There
area?
was no hair on the pillow. And nobody in the household had been in my bedroom.
Sorry,
that
I've been
night.
smoking weed for
Jane, like her sister Judy,
5.5
has grown to
hours.
accept this as evidence of her abduction experience.
Aliens saved my
Didn't
marriage.
bother really trying to figure
World
it out.
Weekly
I just
News.
took it that I had visitors. You know, I've grown up with it. It's like if you grow up with a limp, you get used to it.
The phenomena seems to be centered around me.
If you grow up living in an
And
RV, shoplifting
A little
fountain drinks,
curiosity
you get used to
with
it.
the other family members, but the bulk of the phenomena is directed at me.
Judy believes that strange grass rings in the backyard are further evidence of UFO contact.
We noticed that in the wintertime they would be bright, lush green. The patterns have expanded where there are rings joining rings, and and different designs.
Dr. W.C.
The Men in
Levengood,
Black
a
too.
prominent
Oh
research
man, they really creep me
biophysicist
out.
known for his study of crop circles,
I grew up in a rural area, so like when I was a little kid, and I was always terrified because it always seemed like it happened to people who lived out, kind of in rural areas. The idea of like the government, like Men in Black, was always just terrifying. Maybe even scarier than the aliens like themselves, because like the aliens are like super scary, right? But these are the guys who go to take them down. These are like the guys who go to take out like the crazy aliens. So they have to be like even, have even crazier kind of shit. Should review Communion. Oh, I've seen that. That's a Philip Mora, I think, right? Or Philip Mora. It's been a minute though.
the unusual formations.
In the
I would
lush
review
green
that though.
areas, the respiration of the grass is entirely different or out of phase.
You're not
with
seeing
the
that
normal
Egyptian
grass.
eye.
There is a definite indication that there's electromagnetic energy involved
William C.
in the,
Levengood.
in the formation of the circles.
I bet with
and
the
its
payoff
effect
he's
on
getting
the,
from this show.
plants.
Where does this anomalous energy come from? Could it come from an alien craft?
We have a lot of intriguing data, but I think we've just scratched the surface. We do not understand yet how these energies are put together.
Although much of what Judy has experienced over the past 5 years is already familiar to abduction experts, she reports one astonishing
You think the
incident
aliens are
falls
people that are
outside
get
the
to have
typical
cabin fever?
abductee's experience.
Remember that movie,
I
Cabin
woke
Fever?
And there was a gray by my side, left
Man,
side.
this shit is
and he
strong
was
as hell.
putting in what appeared to be laser type objects in my brain.
32.28%
temple.
THC.
One here and one in the back. And I was told that I would
I'm planning
have
on
an
building a
energy
city. I'm
and that
putting it.
I
I'm
would
gonna
be able to
build a bunch of
help
like,
people who are ill.
the like
Some
little
abductees
mini
feel that after
houses.
the return from
I'm
abduction
gonna build a
event,
bunch of
that
those,
they
and
have
I'm
increased
collecting all of
powers,
these
psychic powers, or
YouTube people
healing
that I like to
powers.
watch.
This is extremely unusual. Judy has felt that she has the ability to have a therapeutic touch, so to speak.
Therapeutic
And
touch,
this
so
might
to
certainly be
speak.
true. It's
Is this
something
Mike
that, we
Graham?
can't dismiss
Never
out of
drew a
hand. That might
dime,
be
even on
related to the
Sightings.
abduction phenomenon, if true. This has got to be very scientifically and objectively investigated.
Judy claims that she has helped hundreds of patients through her healing touch, including one woman who had a painful disease called shingles.
Do you think she could help Savvy Guy?
Minutes, I noticed I was beginning to feel very warm.
I've got some swelling in the
and
balls.
the area under her hands was intensely warm. And then my whole body began to feel tingly.
Yeah,
and just
Boyd compound.
relaxed.
Like how all the
Gradually,
circus
the
people
nausea
retire down in Florida,
and the
this would be where all the
sickness was
Boyd
just
people would come.
disappearing, even in 12 hours.
The disease, which can plague some people for a lifetime,
When you're ready to tell the
disappeared.
real story.
Mary believes it was Judy's touch that helped cure her.
I think Judy did help with the
Eric
illness. I think
McHenry
she
can live there
speeded
for the
up
next 52
process,
plus years.
And I firmly believe that she has abilities that are not like anything else I've seen before.
Judy believes that the terror she experiences during her abductions is the price she has to pay for her healing powers.
I saw the peace that came to people that were getting the treatments.
Sure.
I saw physical ailments that were being healed. And I decided that this is something that
Should I do an
do.
IRL where I meet a faith healer?
Whether or not you believe that Judy has been repeatedly abducted by aliens, the fact remains that she is now providing a very important service to the sick and dying. While the source of her
Who
new
says
outlook is
that?
debatable,
Who says it
the
is?
positive outcome is not.
Huh? He just presented
He
it
may
like
be the
fact.
luckiest man in America, but do we all have the same undiscovered abilities?
I won $7 million. It's incredible.
No, look, that guy was not very good looking, and that means in his original build when he zoned in, he put more points into luck as opposed to like physical attractiveness. It all balances out.
The odds of winning the lottery may be more than 1 in a million, but every week people plunk down their hard-earned cash.
Somebody kept typing,
time
kept
they'll
putting
be the one. This
100%
time they'll be
emoji
that
in
lucky one.
the Jedi chat
But
the other day,
is
and it was just like
simply
Rich
luck
cooking.
that turns a wishful
It was
thinker
really
into
weird.
an
Then I
instant
asked who was
millionaire?
doing it, and it stopped.
Or is there a supernatural way to
Then I
turn
felt
the
bad because
tables in
I
your
was just
favor?
curious.
According to the dictionary, luck is random, a spontaneous event out of conscious control. But lucky charms, talismans, and superstitions suggest that humankind has a different definition.
It means different things to different
You know what they should cover on this is the idea that what if you're talking about Bay Area sports teams, does that mean that you're likely to like curse them or jinx them?
I believe that the conventional
Would that factor in with
notion of
luck?
Is happiness, good fortune.
A research psychologist at the University of South Alabama, Dr. Patulli has studied both the
Dr.
psychological
Patulli?
and mathematical components of luck.
I think another aspect of luck that can't be ignored is the more statistical.
Looks like his
view in which
jacket
luck
is a
a
Sightings brand.
product of a series of random events.
I'm living happy today.
Bernie
I'm a wealthy
Bobowitz.
man,
Okay.
and I can do
Two-time
whatever I
lottery
want.
winner.
Travel, whatever.
Many people consider Bernie Bobowitz the luckiest man on Earth. His latest streak of luck started in 1985.
Oh, look at
when
this
Bernie
guy,
bought
man.
3 New York State lottery tickets.
He's at the bodega.
Checking the first ticket, I took a pen, and I automatically start circling winning numbers.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Then I
49ers,
realized I had 5
Panthers.
winning numbers on my first ticket. So I checked the second ticket, and it was the same numbers again. Only thing was
I remember that. I remember that. He was saying how important it was to get used to doing things. Yeah, I remember that. That was a good scene.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I said, this is incredible. It can't be. Going through the rest of my tickets,
I think Rich is under some impression that like I don't like his content or I don't like it as much. Anytime I come in and I say like, you know, Jedi, I just put the name of whoever the streamer is and then a praying hands emoji usually when I come into a chat. Except VP, I use American flags. But I came in and I was like, you know, Jedi Rich, and then he's like, oh, hey Mark, and then he's like, oh yeah, Jedi Joy will be out soon, and I was like, I hope Rich knows that I appreciate his content as well.
Bernie hit the jackpot to the tune of $3.5 million. He was that 1 in a million lottery winner. And a few years later, he won again.
I happened to be going through my mother's
Gotta be
whole
amphibious.
Bible, and I got these numbers out of the Bible. And I just got a funny feeling. Bernie played them, and I did. And I won $7 million. It's incredible.
Yeah, exactly. Who's gonna deliver justice on this South to West? It's just like we talked about. It's like Prison Break, that TV show. There's always that crazy cliffhanger ending, and you're like, well, how's Jedi Rich gonna get himself out of this one? We'll find out tomorrow. And then when the next episode comes, it's just that no one even remembers it.
Is Bernie a multimillionaire?
Stronger than ever, yes.
Or is he somehow
Jedi Joy is so recommitted to being in the relationship that she's going to start doing the bone broth.
blessed by a higher power? Statisticians say
That's some real shit.
I think as
What's
humans,
up,
we need
Cabana Man
explanations
Dan?
for things that happen to us, and when we attach words like
Jessica
luck
Oots.
or fate or words like that, we're simply trying to explain things that we can't explain any other way.
As a professor of statistics at the University of California at Davis, Jessica Utz specializes in the study of chance and probability.
I think a lot of luck is paying attention, applying what we know about increasing your probability of having good things happen to you or decreasing your probability of having bad things happen to you.
You think
I
it's
also
to
think that using your intuition can
pay out
increase
people
what
that
we
have their
call
identity
luck,
changed?
Because I think we have a lot of information in our minds that we're not even aware of.
Bernie agrees that it was his intuition that made him a millionaire.
I seen myself winning the lottery twice. It happened. I see.
Okay, did he say whether or not, like, did he pick the numbers or did he get, like, what do they call it? I don't know what they pick, quick pick or whatever.
I'm winning a third time. And not only a third time, but even a fourth and fifth time. I can see this. And it will happen.
A guy like me could not be seen in a neighborhood like the McHenrys live in. That's private security would have me out of there
Nevertheless,
10
this
seconds.
individual may personally assume that their chances are much better than others who haven't won. This individual has
They're like,
been
we got a guy down
reinforced
here,
and
looks like a
rewarded
quest giver from
for
Vice
their,
City. Can
for their ventures, and therefore they're
we
more
get
likely
security
to
down here?
believe that they could try again and indeed win.
Remarkably, there is scientific evidence to support the theory that intuition is a significant factor in changing your
So you
luck.
think they paid this
In
guy
one
off to
experiment,
keep quiet then?
Cascading balls generate random
Oh, he
or
saw them and
chance
chose them.
numbers.
Okay.
Dr. Utz has found
Well,
that
that is
some
really
people
interesting.
observing the
Ooh,
cascading
Plinko.
balls can anticipate the numbers before they appear. Parapsychologists call it precognitive ability.
You can't predict.
I am fascinated with the concept of luck. I can't remember what the name of the movie is. I always forget, but it's basically rich people trying to find the luckiest people alive, and then they pit them against each other in challenges of just like complete luck. And like they'll have everybody like blindfolded and have their hands behind their back, and then they'll set them loose in a forest with a bunch of trees, and they just have to run, and like you can't stop running. So you want somebody lucky that can make it through the trees. It's a really weird movie. I can't remember the name of it though.
Outcome, but you can assign probabilities to different outcomes. The same may be true of the future, that there are probable futures.
I think Ben
and
Thorpe
that
would
some of
ban
those
this guy
futures are
from
actually
chat
more
because he seems like
likely
a
than
liar
others.
to me.
And it may be that certain people can pick up on which of those futures are more likely.
Buddhism has embraced this concept and given it a name, karma.
Good karma or positive karma will lead to happiness, essentially.
But according to Dr. Tanaka, the Western concept of
Well,
luck
let
bringing
me ask you this. How
material
many
wealth
lotteries
is not the
has
kind of
Buddha
luck that
won?
comes to those with
Okay,
good
can we
karma.
start there?
Happiness is
Let me see if I can
essentially
find the
inside.
name of that movie.
Luck is something that's outside. You can win a
Movie
lottery
about
and win $1 million,
lucky
but that
people
does not
in
assure happiness within.
challenges.
So, is the converse true? Are some people bad luck magnets?
Okay,
Danny
I'll put
Yu
it the
has
name
been
of it in
plagued
the
by accidents his entire life.
chat.
I was a passenger in a mini truck driving down the freeway, and the driver.
All right,
was
there
not
it is.
paying
There's the
attention
name
what
of the
he was
movie
doing
if you want to
and
see
lost
it.
control of the vehicle and ended flipping the vehicle on the freeway. I almost felt the lightning before I heard the lightning because it was so close. It was like an explosion next to me. The actual sound waves is what knocked me down. I was probably doing 50, 55 miles an hour, and just at the last minute I saw the cement culvert and I crashed headlong into it.
The majority of bad luck can be explained by choices that people make that have logical explanations, like not wearing their seatbelt,
What a
going out
respectable
during a lightning
woman.
storm, that sort of thing. And if people
She
see
seems
a
very
repeating
learned,
pattern of
well-spoken.
so-called bad luck, they should examine
She looks great.
what they could have done to change the circumstances.
I'm sure she
Recently,
smells
Danny Yu
good.
has
Shout
begun
out Francis
scrutinizing his
Courageon.
past, and not surprisingly, his luck is changing.
If you want to make steel stronger, you put it through fire. And that's how I was looking at it. I don't look at it
Ban
as bad
people who
luck.
are
I look
lying.
as, some people need a strong knock on the head to wake up. Some people just need a little tap on the shoulder. I was the kind that needed a strong rap on the head.
Remember the last time he went crazy like that the other day, South to West, and he was like, someone reminded him that he could ban people, and he was like, oh, I forgot. I have a wrench. Well, watch this. He kept like cutting all these weird promos about it.
Are a reminder that they can change their own luck. But Bernie Bobowitz doesn't
Look at this fucking dude, man. He's got it
Sightings was
made,
taping
man.
Bernie for this report.
He can go to
Cashed
any
in a
bodega
$300
and buy
lottery
anything he
ticket.
wants to.
I go to New York, Jersey, and then when I get up in California, I play up there also. So no matter where I go, I'll just pay a few dollars just for the heck of it. And
He won
I win money.
$40 in the lottery.
Even the most hardened skeptics are reluctant to press their luck. Corporate America may not accept the reality of psychic ability, supernatural phenomena, or UFOs. But have you noticed that they don't have a 13th floor in their office
Remember when he was
buildings
like, Edward should be demodded immediately,
What do
Grace.
the latest scientific discoveries tell us about
Get him outta
elsewhere
here.
in the universe?
It very strongly supports the belief that life exists on other worlds.
It's very exciting to be a moderator during that and wonder like,
Most scientists
who's
dismiss
next?
the idea of alien life forms as utterly impossible. But recently,
Mark
a startling
Fusion
discovery
unscathed,
in outer
much like
space
Jedi
has
Rich.
Even some of the country's most ardent skeptics reconsidering their position. For the first time in history, we may finally have proof that there is a spark of life beyond Earth.
We use our intellect to try to understand this universe and to try to understand our place in the universe. Why do we exist?
Yeah, that does
The
sound pretty
origin
cool.
of life on Earth. It's a question that astronomers try to answer by looking at the cosmos. And recently, one tiny piece of the puzzle
Well, I don't want
fell
to.
into
I don't want to
place.
send anyone into a panic or anything, but just if you're planning, you know, months down the road, like Eric McHenry, we will run out of sightings eventually. But I think we're going to pick up Project UFO after that. It's a little more focused, but I think it'll be fun to watch.
When NASA astronomers used the Hubble telescope to confirm the existence of black holes.
And the reason this is important is that black holes are
Kay
more than just
Davidson.
some science fiction fantastic phenomenon. It's our first glimpse of the edge of the universe as we know it.
He seems
As a science writer
trustworthy.
for the San Francisco
He has a
Examiner,
very neat working
Kay Davidson
space.
is continually revising
Man, this
his
tech is
definition of space.
amazing.
It's important to remember
Did you see
that a
that
black
keyboard?
hole is something that defies space and time as we intuitively think of them. We tend to think of space and time as things that are absolute.
The gravitational pull is so strong that not even
Duccio Maceto.
a beam of light.
It's a me,
That is why we
Duccio.
call it black hole.
According to
Duccio
Hubble project
Mantel.
specialist Duccio Maceto, a black hole's extraordinary gravitational pull has the ability to capture the essence of the cosmos.
The essence of the
We
cosmos,
begin
man,
to
that
get a
sounds
better view,
awesome.
a better understanding of how the universe as a whole works.
I want to
how
smoke the
galaxies are
essence of the
formed, how
universe.
Stars are formed, how they evolve, and how we came to be.
Think of a black hole as a cosmic factory where raw materials
I watched
are
Joyride
sucked
3
in
the other day.
and
I
then
don't think I'd seen it
transformed
before.
into
And there was like a
stars, planets, and
meth-fueled
galaxies.
sex scene in like the
If
first
this is
30
true,
seconds of
then
the
perhaps
movie.
life in outer space can be created in the same way. And recently,
You
one
don't
of the
trust
raw
him?
materials of life has been discovered floating in space.
Oh, there's those
An
things.
amino
It's
acid
me.
called glycine.
The
It would
stick
be sort of like
figures.
finding a brick floating around in space. From that, you could infer the existence of brick houses in outer
He's
space.
kind of like if,
Now, we don't know
remember
for sure that this glycine
Gordon that had the
means
afternoon
that
talk
larger,
show?
Amino acid structures are forming
He looks
in
like
space,
this
but
could
it's
be
a
his
clue
son.
that the formation of the building blocks of life is a routine thing in the universe.
If the building blocks of life are to be found
Oh, he's not
routinely in
Australian. He's
space,
just very like
can we
soft
presume
spoken.
that Earth
My
is
bad.
the only living planet? According to many scientists,
I thought he had
no.
like an Australian
Mars is the
accent.
best prospect in the solar system at the moment for
Look at this guy,
another
Steve
life form.
Wozniak.
Planetary scientist Jay Milosh theorizes that
Jay
catastrophic
Milosh.
collisions between celestial bodies millions of years ago could have sent enormous chunks of our planet hurtling into space.
For example, the impact that killed the dinosaurs 65 million years ago left a crater almost 200 kilometers in diameter. That very well may have blown rocks off the surface of the Earth entirely, and those rocks could potentially carry microorganisms that would then be transported through space
Man,
and
this is
fall
a
on
deep
Mars.
episode.
And if these planetary fragments carried life from Earth to Mars eons ago, could the reverse also be true?
We have in our laboratories and museums chunks of Mars that have come.
Isn't
to
it
Earth.
weird that like
Maybe terrestrial life has its roots
just
on Mars.
shit's happening on other planets?
Maybe we're all.
It just seems like a lot's going on. That's what I'm saying.
But for life to exist, there must be water. Geologist Jeff Cargill.
What if we're
has found
missing out
evidence
on
that water
Kino
once flowed
somewhere?
on Mars.
I would
I've
say
really
that
got to
Mars
get back
is
into Sims
extremely
3.
water rich. Now, most of its water is in the form of ice. It's a cryogenic planet today. There are certainly abundant indications
Octavius
that liquid water
Borealis.
flowed on the surface.
And some astrogeologists believe that microbes in a state of cryogenic suspension exist under Martian ice today.
Life is very imaginative, and it finds ways of adapting
Man,
to
Sightings
an
really
extraordinary
delivering
range
today.
of environments. We find living creatures in hot springs in Yellowstone. We find them living
Yellowstone.
beneath the ice of Antarctica. And I have no doubt that given enough time, life forms could exist on Mars just as they exist on the Earth.
Into the anus.
Less than 100 years ago, a nanosecond in cosmic time, we rode in horse-drawn buggies and
More
depended on
time
Pony
passage
Express.
stuff.
Today,
It's
we're
gonna
sending a robot to mine the surface of Mars. It may
get
be
me
sooner
all
than
existential.
we think before we have the ability to make contact with alien life forms.
I've
we
got to
can only
buckle in
dream
here for the
about today.
home stretch.
Sightings has expanded its America Online area.
I feel like that was
Sightings
another
when you log
pretty
on
banger
for access to
episode. I
Sightings
mean,
stories, images, and
lots of
events.
interesting
To subscribe to
stories.
America Online, call
No real duds.
1-800-591-3344.
I like
And
the
you can
Lux
still
story.
reach
I thought that was a
Sightings
real good
24
one.
hours a day at 1-900-933-7444.
Until next time, remember, no mystery
I feel like
is
this one
closed
went by a
to an
little bit
open
faster
mind.
than the last one did.
For Sightings, I'm Tim White.
Thank you, Henry Winkler. Okay, this one is Intruder on the Range. What happened? Oh my gosh, what happened to Debbie? That sounds like a trauma movie. In the news. And listen to this, South to West, the Roswell autopsy.
An exclusive Sightings investigation uncovers a classified UFO military tape.
It doesn't resemble any shapes that I would know.
Why does this UFO have the Air Force running scared?
This was my first encounter seeing anything
This
of
was
this
my
nature.
first encounter.
Was a Sasquatch shelter discovered in Ohio?
It was big enough for 3 of us to go and sit in comfortably.
The Bigfoot
Buffalo
mystery
Beth voice.
continues with more eyewitnesses on the next Sightings.
Beyond imagination lies the truth.
An exclusive Sightings investigation uncovers a classified UFO military tape.
You guys don't mind watching these, do you? I think they're kind of neat.
Why is the Air Force running scared?
This was my first encounter seeing anything of this nature.
The top secret UFO on the next Sightings.
Fake Tim White.
An exclusive Sightings investigation uncovers a classified UFO military tape.
This was my first encounter seeing anything of this nature.
The top secret UFO on the next Sightings.
I really like the music.
It doesn't resemble any shapes that I would know.
An exclusive investigation uncovers a top secret UFO tape.
These would
on
be
the
like
next
all the
Sightings.
different little teasers. Oh, that one, they just show you the UFO and that's it. Interesting. Oh, I should say also, we are officially into season 4
Doesn't
now.
resemble any shapes that I would know.
This was my first encounter seeing anything of this nature.
A deep dive into sightings. Fish
It
sticks
was big
shaped
enough
like
for
feet.
3 of us to go and sit in comfortably.
Sightings.
It doesn't resemble any shapes that I would know.
They need to show that guy with the white hair and the big mustache in one of
Anything of
these.
this nature.
Are you guys losing your patience with
This
the
was my first encounter seeing anything of this nature.
commercial, with the promos? Wind chimes.
It doesn't resemble any shapes that I would know.
Like, if you want to tap out, let me know. But I'm not gonna do it of my own accord. I'll make us sit through all of them if it's up to me.
On this edition of Sightings,
Too late, I guess.
a UFO invades a high-security military base, leaving behind frightened eyewitnesses.
Well, it's still neat to get like a little look into how was Sightings advertised at the time. Like, that's how this particular episode, like, that's what you would have seen during your other shows, like as a little teaser. That's kind of cool.
Kids, that's scary.
I was hoping it was going to go on longer as like a mental like test.
Where is Deborah Palmer?
How can you say what it's like for 25 years to look for somebody?
Now, psychic Dorothy Allison believes she knows what happened to Debbie.
It was a violent fight. I mean,
What
he was
happened
really
to
going
Debbie?
at it.
Is this historic footage that proves aliens exist, or is it a cruel hoax?
You're saying that they used a human body.
And that makes it one of the most despicable hoaxes ever perpetrated.
Later, Jack Wheeler is convinced he is alive today because a spirit of love rescued him from certain death.
Spirit of love. Hey, welcome back, Dave.
Her catching. Plus, Bigfoot is tracked in Ohio.
Very exciting. What do you think? Could you guys hit it from the back to the Sightings theme song? Could you get a good enough rhythm going? Kind of laid back.
Welcome to Sightings. I'm Tim White. The videotape you're about to see
Had to be some
is
like
different.
real
It was shot
gentle
in late
lovemaking.
1994 in the government's own backyard, the super secret Nellis Test Range in southern Nevada.
Love on the
Had the tape not
battlefield.
been smuggled out, it might well have been classified by authorities. The base employees in this report appear at considerable professional risk, and therefore
Professional
their identities
risk.
have been heavily disguised.
Oh, look at this. We know the director and producer now. Big upgrade.
Remote-controlled cameras monitor the 7,700 square miles of airspace above the Nellis Range. The cameras record fighter jet training, tactical exercises, and in at least one case, this UFO. The video from a tracking location known only as S30
What's up, Media Hits?
was fed into Nellis Air Force Base in Las Vegas.
Uh-oh,
Personnel
Vegas.
there monitor what is supposed to be classified data about aircraft.
I'm gonna
runs
ask
over the
Jedi
three
Rich if he's
million
ever been
acres of
out
desert
to
that make up the Nellis Range.
the
An
Nellis
unknown
Range.
aircraft making its way onto the complex, says aerospace journalist Bill Sweetman, is not
Bill
considered
Sweetman.
standard operating procedure.
I don't think you'd really see many objects wandering in by accident. They're very, very careful to ensure that sort of thing doesn't happen. The potential for serious accident if somebody is really straying into the range is very, very serious.
And yet, something obviously did stray in, and it frightened the camera's remote-controlled operators.
This craft shows up.
Fall River, Massachusetts.
It's like they're playing with kids. It's like do whatever they want and buy now. That's scary. I've never seen anything like this before. This was my first encounter seeing anything of this nature. And I've been working the ranges for close to 10 years.
It seemed to move in whichever direction it wanted to go whenever it wanted to, contrary to any
These
aircraft
people are
I've seen in the
appearing at
past.
great
Chuck
professional
DeCaro is
risk.
a former member of U.S. Special Forces, specializing in state-of-the-art military technology. He has analyzed hours of video footage of supposed UFOs, debunking many. But he has never seen anything like the Nellis UFO.
In my first look at that tape, I said, wow. And I continue to say, wow.
I continually
There are
say,
only
wow.
three things that could be on that
Hey,
tape.
it's me,
One
Chuck
is a very
DeCaro.
elaborate and very expensive hoax.
You come
I
down to
don't think
Nellis.
that's what we're seeing.
You're fucking with,
The second
you're fucking with
is
me, pal.
some kind of a black project, a secret
Black
project that has
project.
some very unusual aerodynamic characteristics. And the third, if you can eliminate all those aerodynamic answers, could
They're
be
hiding
a
their
true
identity so
unknown.
that
And
Ben
if
Thorpe
that
can't
is
ban
an
them from the
unknown,
chat
if
for
you come
lying.
to that conclusion, you've got a pretty interesting piece of history right there.
To rule out the possibility of a hoax, Sightings asked a government subcontractor who uses the same image analysis computer as the Department of Defense to analyze the S30 tapes. He has asked to remain anonymous.
The video appears to be genuine. Specifically, it was taken by contractor personnel that are operating tracking sites for the United States Air Force.
Could the Nellis UFO be a rare glimpse at a military black project? The stealth bomber is one former black project tested in Nevada and early on misidentified by civilians as a UFO. But our sources insist that when black projects are tested, the tracking cameras are deactivated.
The camera operators and the tracking sites are not exposed to those highly classified aircraft on a typical basis.
Chuck DeCaro and the government video engineer.
I mean, Chuck DeCaro is showing his face,
this UFO
right?
was a black project.
What's startling
Why
about
won't they?
it is that
Why won't they cam up?
It doesn't resemble any shapes that I would know immediately, and that's why I thought it was interesting to start with.
It almost appears to be like spherical in the center and with a appendage on the bottom and on the top. You don't see any evidence of rotors.
No.
I just tell him I'm not bringing you up on the sightings panel unless you cam up.
Another anomalous characteristic of the object is its apparent ability to change shape instantaneously.
The physical profile of the object changes almost frame to frame. Sometimes it appears almost to be a fuzzy, gassy cloud.
Fuzzy, gassy cloud.
Portions of the video, it appears to be several spherical objects surrounding a dark mass.
To get a better look at the flight characteristics of the Nellis UFO, Sightings consulted with Chip Peterson, a video processing expert. He stabilized and enhanced several minutes of the S-30 video.
I basically moved each frame, and you can see the frames actually moving now, showing the degree that I had to move the image in order to keep this object stable in the center.
The stabilized image clearly shows the odd shape of the object shifting and turning in the sky.
I then took the numbers one by one and reconstructed the flight path, and that's the only way I could determine what the actual motion was. And I recreated
There's
that
so much to take in on his
it's
desk.
initially heading away from the camera, and it abruptly changes. And during this phase, the range is increasing. It's actually going away from the camera. And at this point, it changes direction. Wind wouldn't do that. It wouldn't change that abruptly. And it wouldn't follow a constant radius throughout this entire portion here. It's all at constant distance from the camera. It's as if it's
But to change that abruptly, it's got to
the
be
ground is observing it and maintaining this
like
constant distance.
Based on his knowledge as
something
an aerospace
special,
engineer,
right? Or something like
Peterson
super
offered one possible
aerodynamic.
explanation for the abrupt turns performed by the UFO.
You could interpret it as if it determined it was on radar at this point. Perhaps if you're on radar, of course, you can sense that in all of our fighter planes. You know when you're being tracked. As soon as you get a lock where you get this radar signal.
Dave's channel said he's going to try to go get a hand job from Warlock Grace.
Who's observing it, and it turned in order to find out.
When something starts to change shape like that,
Look at this guy, man. Great.
You become very, very puzzled because you realize that you're looking at something that appears to involve a whole new technology that we don't understand. What you want to do, of course, is go and find the person who's invented this and say, whatever made you think of that, and what does it do, and how does it do it?
But we will probably never know who created this new technology. Questions about the earthly or otherworldly origins of the Nellis UFO are unanswerable. Until the mastermind behind this craft comes forward, there is only
Vinny
speculation.
Slugga? Oh yeah, I forgot about that. The Vinny Slugga incident.
And the ants think they're it. That's the scary part.
You think she'd tag in Ben, is what you're saying?
To this day, the origin of the UFO has not been determined. Sightings forwarded a copy of the Nellis videotape to the Pentagon requesting an official response. As of this broadcast, the Air Force has not responded to Sightings' request.
Next,
I can't believe they're ignoring
Debbie
Sightings.
Palmer's friends and family have been tortured by one agonizing question. What happened to Debbie?
I knew she was coming back to me.
A young woman disappears. No sign of foul play, no known enemies, no
What happened
trace.
to Debbie?
When Deborah Palmer's family reported her missing, the police didn't know she'd been kidnapped, murdered, or had simply walked away from her life. After finding no evidence of a crime, the search for Deborah Palmer was suspended.
Just
But in a sad
walking away
paradox,
from-
the very circumstances that
just
caused
walking
the
away
police
from
to
life.
stop looking are what continue to give her family hope that Deborah will be found.
Someone out
Hold on,
there
I gotta
knows
check on Cicero.
what happened to Debbie.
Debbie Palmer was the archetypal girl next door. At 18, she was a model and a beauty queen, a fun-loving friend, an adoring daughter. Her life was filled with promise, with a bright future ahead and the home and family she hoped to have one day. Debbie dreamed of being in the headlines. But when that dream came true, in 1970, the headline read, "Feared Dead."
Debbie and I were like sisters. She was a fun-loving, sweet child that never met a stranger. Everybody was her friend, and she was just precious.
She loved to ride horses. She was a people person. She loved people. She got along well with everybody.
For 25 years, Ann Palmer has lived with the grief and uncertainty of not knowing what happened to her daughter Debbie. Even now, she holds out hope that Debbie is alive.
When she first disappeared, I kept hearing her voice say, "Mom, I'm all right. Mom, I'm all right."
Ann was an actress, a model, and a single mother. In 1954, she packed up 3-year-old Debbie and left Dallas for Hollywood. They were a family of 2, and mother and daughter were exceptionally close. Ann says their bond went beyond love.
Debbie and I had a very powerful psychic connection.
All right.
When she was a teenager and she would be out late, I could simply
Very
think,
tasteful
"Debbie,
necklace.
where are you?" Almost within a matter of 15 minutes, the phone would ring or she'd come home.
Shortly before her 19th birthday, Debbie returned to Dallas and moved into her
Oh
first apartment. She
no,
was so
Debbie
popular among the
returned to
tenants at the
Dallas.
Carrollwood Apartments, they named her Miss Carrollwood. She seemed to know everyone and had a very active social life. The apartment complex would be the last place anyone remembered seeing Debbie Palmer. She vanished on September 8th,
Local beauty
1970.
queen missing in Texas.
Well, I didn't know she'd vanished at first. She'd been missing for 4 days at that point. And so we called the police, and the police said, "She's 18, there's nothing we can do. We can't look for her. There's no foul play indicated." And then it was terror.
Once an intense search
Terror.
did begin, the trail had grown cold. The only significant break in the case came 2 full weeks after her disappearance, the discovery of 2 packed suitcases in the woods north of Dallas.
I got a call one
Yeah,
day
I was
from
gonna
Plano,
say.
Texas, from the police department, and they said they had found her luggage.
I used to have like the
and that we could
restored
come over and claim it.
widescreen version
No,
of
it was
it
just
on
going to be a matter of time till
DVD
they
a long
found
time
her
ago.
body.
But Debbie's body was never found. There were no signs of foul play or a reason for Debbie to run. In police work, there are just so many roads you can travel before you hit a dead end.
It is a mystery because we can't determine whether there was foul play involved, whether she's a victim
Sergeant
of crime,
Jim
or she
Chandler?
simply, on her own, simply walked away from her life as it existed then and is still
Is he
alive
faking
somewhere.
being bald?
I looked for her at every street for 15 years. I looked
Seemed like he
everywhere
was
for
faking
her.
it.
I knew I was going to find her. I knew she was coming back to me.
Nothing that we heard gave us really hope. I had to keep the hope going.
Roy Brockaway was the sheriff of neighboring Kaufman County. He was a family friend who became
He seems like
closely
he would have a
involved in the
jaw harp
investigation.
soundtrack.
We just never have come across anything.
God damn, it's me,
that
Roy
has
Brockway.
indicated to us what happened to Debbie.
Sightings brought world-renowned psychic detective Dorothy Allison to Dallas to work with the
Oh
former
boy,
sheriff.
man, she got a free
As he
trip to
drove near
Dallas?
Debbie's
Damn.
last known address, Dorothy began to express strong psychic impressions of Debbie.
Roy, there's this one forest area where it's real isolated.
I bet
where
Lalo
I
gets
believe
more
that
free
girl was
tickets
taken.
though, plane tickets than this
If
lady
you've
did.
done a murder or anything like that, there is places out here that you can put a body that probably could never be found.
Although she did not know where the suitcases had been located, Dorothy guided
Do you think he
Roy
has a
to
couple
location
spots in
eerily
mind?
nearby.
Roy, this is the kind of a scene that I actually saw her in. It seems exactly like this spot here.
Dorothy's last stop was the Carrollwood Apartments. Outside Debbie's apartment, Dorothy attempted to psychically reconstruct the final hours before
Jimmy
her
Stir of the
disappearance.
Mouth
What
Harp.
happened that night was that they had a very bad argument. She was with this one fellow that she had been going with for a while, and she wanted to get rid of him. And he said he was going out to the store someplace, but I believe...
Now remember, she's just making this up. Like this is her opinion. I don't think she's stating facts, is she? Or am I wrong? Is she telling us what she sees by going there, or is she actually recapping the events of the night?
drugs. And then all of a sudden this other fellow comes along. I feel that she was getting rid of one to go with the other. It was a violent fight. I mean, he was really going at it.
But there was no
Takes
signs
her,
of foul
and
play.
promises her to take her to a doctor, but instead where he takes her is to kill her.
Could Debbie Palmer have been murdered, as Dorothy's psychic visions seem to suggest? The scenario of jealousy, violence, and drug abuse
I don't know about
certainly
that.
doesn't fit Debbie's wholesome image. But
I
after
don't.
Dorothy's
I
psychic
mean,
revelations,
if there
those
was
who
a
knew
big
Debbie
fight,
best
a big violent fight, why wasn't there any? You know, why they said there was no signs of any kind of foul play? Wouldn't like a location of a fight, like if that shit was like knocked over and stuff?
She could have been led astray.
It could have been the boyfriend. It was a party Thursday night is where she disappeared. And she said she was going to have a little talk with him. And then nobody remembers seeing her again. And it's possible she went to have that little talk with him, and he didn't like what she was saying, and he lost his temper and killed her. That's a possibility that's been in my mind all these years.
Dorothy showed Sharon the notes from her psychic impressions. Because legal charges have yet to be filed, we asked them to refrain from mentioning actual names of suspects.
Now here's a list of the names.
Can you imagine just giving over like a list of potential suspects, and you're just a person? That's crazy.
And you can tell, only you can tell me if you recognize anything there.
Without calling names, the first and the last name of the man she was dating, that she was going to have the little talk with to break up with him, his first and last name are both here. And in between is, you have my grandmother's maiden name.
Debbie's family and friends were amazed at Dorothy's accuracy about the small details of Debbie's life. But believing Dorothy means confronting the probability that Debbie is dead.
How can you say what it's like for 25 years to look for somebody?
I will always hope and follow every lead to believe that she might still be alive somewhere in the world today.
Since our investigation in Texas, Debbie Palmer's cousin Sharon has contacted the Texas State Police. She presented the new psychic evidence generated by Dorothy Allison. According to State Police official Jim Chandler, this is not
Oh yeah, I remember
the kind of
Jim
evidence
Chandler,
that
the
they
fake
feel
bald guy.
justifies a reopening of the Palmer case.
Next, medical science discovers auras.
Is that Eric McHenry
Evidence that
doing the head rub?
California's Mammoth Mountain is really a mountain of doom.
These all new graphics.
Here are some of the stories Sightings is following in the news. Geologic discoveries near Mammoth Mountain in Northern California indicate to some that the dire prophecies of futurist Gordon Michael Scallion could be coming true. The picturesque landscape of Mammoth Mountain, California is deceiving. Beneath this pristine forest, there is a boiling, seething lake of molten earth poised to unleash its fury.
That the earth is going to open up.
Gordon Michael Scallion. What a cool name. And he's a futurist. Wow.
Between Bakersfield and the Baja.
Future map.
While scientists do not take Scallion's predictions seriously, they do agree that the Mammoth area is a volatile location.
It's clear that there's going to be eruptions there in the future.
Dr. Marcus Bursick.
And it's clear that large areas there will be covered with ash.
What a later in
be
life
destroyed.
State
rediscovery,
University of
though,
New York
south to west.
volcanologist Marcus Bursick warns that recent earthquake activity has unleashed a fresh torrent of magma under the Mammoth Lakes area. The effect is similar to shaking a bottle of champagne and releasing carbon dioxide bubbles. But unlike champagne, the concentrations of carbon dioxide under the earth are deadly. Evidence that these poisonous gases are already working their way to the surface was discovered on Mammoth Mountain. Hundreds of trees here were killed by lethal emissions from the volatile magma below.
Trees were murdered.
There's a lot of volcanoes in that area.
There's
and
some really
several of
compelling
them
visuals.
showed an effect from the Landers earthquake. So this
Really
magma
bought
is sitting
in
there
for a
stewing
second there.
underneath the surface, and it's emitting this carbon dioxide along with other gases.
Man, what a
The
world we
last
live
time
in.
Mammoth Mountain erupted approximately 700,000 years ago,
What an
a dense
incredible
volcanic cloud blocked out the sun and
planet
covered
we
the
live
western
on.
United States in a thick layer of ash. Today, there are those who believe the long dormant volcano's time has come again. In the
Man,
fall
I
of
love this in the
1967,
news segment.
Something strange crashed into the water off Shag Harbor, Nova Scotia. Since then, UFO investigator Chris Stiles has been building an impressive document trail indicating that the Canadian government investigator Chris Stiles
Hey, south to west, look. Bro, look. Look at the book, man. Look at the top book. Communion.
Document trail indicating that the Canadian government knows more about the
Magic
crash than
Mike.
they're willing to tell.
I believe that this was
Chris
a
Stiles.
device from another intelligent civilization.
Seems like an AWF manager.
Now, Chris Stiles and Sightings are mounting a new full-scale investigation to scour the ocean floor beneath Shag Harbor in search of UFO debris. Our findings in an upcoming
Says Matt if he
edition
would have
of
gotten
Sightings.
obsessed with UFOs instead of Ruby.
Researchers at Pennsylvania State University are confirming with technology what some holistic healers have felt for years, that the magnetic field around the human body changes with the onset of disease.
Well, this is a picture that shows basically the distribution of the magnetic field of a human body.
Michael Smith and his colleagues at the Penn State Magnetic Resonance Imaging Lab are pioneering a breakthrough technology for surgeons.
It can show them the positions of say, for instance, a tumor. You can show them the presence of a tumor or a disease that they're not aware of. And it really gives them a visual way to look into the human body and see what's wrong.
So that's the safe and give you a high resolution.
She's a
also
lead.
give you the image of the soft tissue.
The future of MRI technology offers tantalizing possibilities. But so far, it is only a diagnostic tool.
I think the
Inframetrics.
comparison between holistic methods and techniques and MRI.
The new
should be
book
viewed
from L.
with
Ron
caution.
Hubbard.
People should use those things that have been proven to be useful to diagnose their disease.
We'll have more stories from the news next time. Now, here's what's coming up on Sightings.
Dolores Wheeler loved her husband so much, she saved his life 12,000 miles away. And are these pictures of an alien
What a
autopsy
trad.
an incredible find?
Oh man, the alien autopsy shit. Let's go.
Yes, I could have done it a lot better.
Fantastic.
For nearly 50 years, UFO researchers
I
have
think
been looking
we should have time, but do you guys want to watch the Bigfoot press conference after this if there's time, or watch whatever we can watch of it?
Sightings correspondent Carla Wohl reports that newly discovered film of a bizarre autopsy is adding fuel to the Roswell fire.
Oh, thank you, Melissa
Since
Peltier.
January 1995, the hottest news on the World Wide Web of UFO devotees is this photo, allegedly
Stick
an
figure evidence.
extraterrestrial from the Roswell crash site being autopsied by the U.S. military. It's the UFO story of the decade.
This is an injury, and that deep wound is consistent with high temperature burns.
If this is truly genuine, then
Oh, look who it is,
becomes the
Stanton
focus
Friedman.
of worldwide recognition that indeed our planet's being visited, that indeed governments have known for 48 years.
Look at
and
his.
haven't
Okay,
told
tell
us.
me that he would not be like a really great like villain. Look
The
at his
world will
like.
never be. The
Look at his
governments have
face.
known for that indeed our planet's being visited, that indeed governments have known for 48 years and haven't
Wow.
told us. The world will never be the same again.
Rumors of a Roswell autopsy film go back to 1993.
Somebody filmed it off of Live
when music
Leak, I
promoter
guess.
Ray Santilli told Bufora, the British UFO Research Association, that he had unearthed a bizarre 16mm movie in a private film vault.
Ray Santilli said, I have got my hands on some material. I know nothing about Roswell, but I'm being told by the man who sold this to me that he was in fact a military
Could be a warlock.
cameraman,
True.
with the United States military back
You
in
never know who's a warlock these
1947.
days.
And he said that this was the official record.
Not
the
that
US
I'm
government
advocating to
record
returning to
of an
steak
event
burning.
which
I'm not
occurred
saying
there,
that.
i.e. a crashed UFO and the recovery of aliens and, of course, that debris.
Kent Jeffrey is the author of the Roswell Declaration, a petition calling for the declassification of all government documents on Roswell. He eagerly anticipated the release of the autopsy film.
When I first heard about the film, I was very hopeful. I thought that we finally had what we'd been looking for in the way of evidence
Peter
to
Jennings
prove
vibes.
this case. However, in the ensuing months, as I learned more and more facts about the film, I became less and less optimistic.
Now, Santilli says he
Ooh,
has
Carla
had it
Wool.
authenticated. He went to Kodak, and they said, yes, this is film stock from the 1940s.
Kodak did not authenticate the film. What Santilli did
How long you been
was
on? I don't
go to
know, like,
Kodak
total?
and get clarification on the edge markings. The edge
I don't know, about
markings
6
on
hours.
the film are a square and a triangle. That signifies that the film was manufactured in either 1927 or 1947 or 1967.
Oh, I got to see
The
if
only
Rich
thing Kodak
answered me
did was
about going to Nellis
verify
Base.
that that is the case, that those edge markings signify those years.
Rand
No
Molnar,
answer as
dean
of
the
yet.
Brooks Institute
They could
of
be
Photography,
streaming.
finds it highly suspicious that Santilli went no further in his attempts to authenticate the film.
If this were a legitimate film with historical value, then I would think he would take every measure possible to try to get this authenticated.
I'll be right
Taking it
back.
to an expert, to someone here or elsewhere, they could look at the film, analyze it, and then make a determination on whether it's actually legitimate, or if it should be tested further, or if there's something else that can be done with it to try to authenticate what event is transpiring on it, supposedly.
The dissemination of information from Ray Santilli in London is extremely unorthodox. It is
Sorry,
extremely
Cicero's just acting weird this
unusual
morning.
for research of any kind to be carried out in this way.
Rather than release the film in its entirety, Santilli selectively leaked small portions of the film at invitation-only screenings. Many in attendance left unconvinced.
I still had a great deal of hope when I went over there.
Many
to see
left
the film.
unconvinced.
However, from the first few frames, I realized that this was a hoax, that this was a human body on that table.
You realize what you're saying. You're saying that they used a human body, a dead person, to perpetrate this hoax.
That is not only my opinion, but the opinion of most of the medical people who have seen this film now. And that makes it one of the most despicable hoaxes ever perpetrated.
Can I move the head side to side?
Makeup effects artist Steve Johnson built the aliens for the movie Roswell. He agrees that the autopsy film is a hoax, that it's not flesh and blood you're seeing, but a ripoff of his special effects creations. Could you have done this?
At the risk of sounding pompous, yes, I could have done it a lot better. But the main thing is, it never proves once to me that this is a dead body. For instance, when they make incisions, they will begin the incision, then they cut away, or they cut in tighter. From a special effects technician's point of view, they used every trick that I would have asked a director to use had a director come to me and said, I want to do this great autopsy scene.
What are some of the tricks that you think they use specifically?
Look at this
Human
character.
bodies do not bleed after they're dead. The blood coagulates in the veins, then settles to the lowest point. If you incise them, they don't bleed. This thing did bleed. And I thought, well, simplest, oldest trick in the book is a blood knife.
Show me.
It looks
True.
pretty much like that, because it does leave a line, and then a few trickles come out.
And that's it. I mean,
I
simple
think
as that.
so.
Why do you think someone did it?
It would be exciting, in a perverse kind of way, to be able to fool a lot of people like this. There is a lot of money being changed hands.
In fact,
No, there's
Santilli has
not.
profited from the autopsy
Nobody
film.
made a bunch of
He's
money from
reportedly
that.
signed six-figure deals with American, French, and Japanese television networks.
To put together a hoax like this would require a tremendous amount of time, effort, and money. Certainly the Roswell incident is one of the better documented UFO incidents, so this will be a likely candidate rather than some obscure
30
thing.
low-budget
Many
Roswell film.
ufologists worry that the flap over Santilli's film is obscuring the real story of Roswell. UFO
Give me a
researcher
break.
Clifford Stone gave me a tour of the old Roswell military base.
This was known as Hangar 84. In July of
Clifford
1947, this
Stone.
building right here housed a secret that the United States government didn't want to talk about. As a matter of fact, I would state that they considered that secret so sensitive that it was rated higher than even the hydrogen bomb.
According to Stone, while the autopsy film may be a hoax, the recovery of aliens is not.
Oh, you're saying there's like 30. I thought you meant they could pay for 30 of them
Credible military
with that
witnesses.
six-figure
Among
deal.
those propounding a theory of government cover-up is Walter Haut, the former Air Force lieutenant who was ordered to write the Roswell press release stating the UFO was a weather balloon.
I feel very, very sincerely that it was a cover-up. It was a way of
burying something. I guess that's the easiest word
Well,
to use.
Could Ray Santilli be just another unwitting pawn in a Roswell disinformation campaign?
Disinformation is
boy.
not a word that a lot of people like. It implies our own government is putting out false stories. Gee, really? Could they do that? Yes. One of the things that you normally do in the intelligence community, all kinds everywhere, if some truth leaks out that you don't want,
That guy
leaked
is
out,
wild,
you flood
man.
the market with garbage. Then there's no way to separate out.
Do you hope that there is another film or some other evidence out there to prove
Man,
that
what a
Roswell
knockout.
did in fact happen?
I certainly do, and I think it's a real possibility. And we are working very hard on trying to find any individuals who might have such evidence or who may have even just participated and now be willing to talk so that this information can be shared with the rest of the world.
Nearly everyone who's studied the Roswell autopsy film is convinced that it's a hoax. But Ray Santilli, the owner of the film, stands by its authenticity.
They just gave it like a deep dive, like it was a historical document, and now he's like, everyone who's seen this knows it's a hoax.
Next, a story of life-saving love that transcends time and space.
Felt the
Life-saving
presence around
love.
me. I looked up and I saw my wife.
Let's see Savvy Guy counter this.
In 1970, Jack and Dolores Wheeler promised to love, honor, and cherish each other till death did them part. Within a year, the significance of those wedding vows would be tested on a Vietnam battlefield. Because of what happened there, Jack Wheeler would be tested on a... till death did them part. Within a year, the significance of those wedding vows would be tested on a Vietnam battlefield.
Amazing.
Because of what happened there, Jack Wheeler has come to believe that his wife's love is a part of a supernatural force that saved his life more than once.
Audrey Levine Scott.
We just had an instant attraction for each other.
Bob Holly.
I'll never forget the first time I saw her when she came into the room there in the sorority house.
Love at first sight only begins to describe the instant, inexplicable bond that Jack and Dolores felt for each other from the moment they met.
He had asked me to marry him
cool
like
old
3 months
movies.
after we met.
There was a whirlwind romance, a fairy tale wedding, and
I wonder
then
if
a phone
Jack
call from the
Wheeler
draft board.
is
After only 1
Wheeler
month of
Yuta's
marriage,
dad.
The Wheelers were separated by the Vietnam War.
Here we had just got married and were unsure as to the relationship and how it would survive with her staying in school and still going to college while I went off to Vietnam.
I wrote to him every day, and I thought of him constantly. I knew he was in battle, but I didn't really want to think about it.
But while Dolores tried to push thoughts of danger out of her conscious mind, Jack insists that his new bride was still connected to him through her unconscious.
Sure.
Something got me up that night.
There'd been a break in the fighting. The unrelenting sound of gunfire had stopped. Jack Wheeler was asleep in what infantry soldiers in Vietnam called a hooch.
I was laying there and
The
it was
hooch.
2, 3 in the morning and I felt a presence around me. And I looked up and I saw my wife in a long robe, gown, beaconing to me. And I got up, went outside the hooch, and I was maybe 20
Poppy.
or 30 feet from it. And suddenly there were 2 loud explosions. 2 mortar rounds had come in and it hit the hooch where I was. And there was shrapnel.
Oh man, he left the hooch just in time.
The cot and everything, and people would ask, why I wasn't in the hooch, and I'm convinced that I saw her. I mean, it was very difficult to understand, and nobody understood it, and you couldn't explain it. And to this day, I can't explain it.
Back in the United States, Dolores Wheeler was unaware of Jack's close call and the fact that he had seen her exact double image beckoning him away from impending danger.
There's the Latin term alter ego.
Oh, Don Ward.
There's the Norse term faradogr.
He deserted his men.
means, forerunner.
Don Ward is a UCLA folklorist specializing in tales of the supernatural. He
Folklorist.
uses the word doppelganger to describe what Jack Wheeler experienced.
It's a German word for a universal phenomenon. That is the notion that the human spirit has an essence of its own that can be perceived visually
I'm gonna ask B. Stevie to make a video about doppelgangers.
by other people, and it is identical to the person themselves, right down to the clothes they wear.
Yeah, exactly,
Jack
Cody
Wheeler
Turbo.
knew nothing of doppelgangers. He only knew that somehow, from a vast distance, Dolores was continuing to protect him from harm.
Dolores.
The choppers picked us up. They gave us a new ration.
Do you think he banged the doppelganger or
got
no?
some mail, and it was like 7 or 8 letters that I got from my wife. We were flying in, and I had one that I was trying to read it there. But
Tom Selleck doppelganger.
And the doors of the chopper.
I actually saw a
hands
guy
going, and,
on a
was
Christian
reading this
animated
letter from
movie
her,
that I thought
and it
kind of
just
looked
started
like
to turn the
Ben. Let me
page.
see. I think I took a
When
screenshot of
suddenly,
it.
It flew out of my hand. So I sort of got up partially and scooted back to grab the letter. And just as I did, enemy fire.
Jack believes that if he hadn't ducked for that letter, he would have been killed. And the other men
Oh,
in his
shoot, I
unit
can't
did
find-
die
oh,
that
here it
day,
is.
And Jack wondered what special force had spared him once again.
A lot of mental activity occurs strictly on an unconscious level. And this may have been what was happening with Mrs. Wheeler. She may have been unconsciously
trying to-
aware
hold on.
of her husband's dangers half a world away in Vietnam.
Professor John Rohner chronicles the Wheelers' experience in this collection of true stories.
His thoughts probably were almost continually on her and hers on him. And I
Okay,
think
see what you think about this. Do you think this kind of looks like Ben? I saw it on a. It's like a Christian, some kind of Christian animated movie. I thought that kind of looked like Ben.
We got hit. I took a bullet in my hip and a bullet in my shoulder, and the chopper
Something jumped up and bit me.
some trees. And I was just laying there, and I was about 20 or 30 feet from the ground.
An
And I
interview
looked
with
down,
Andrew
and
Wilson.
I could see this image of my wife. And she had her arms out, like to comfort me or to catch me. And then I remember falling.
Let me see if we can find the trailer.
Catching me. And I was unconscious, and when I came to, they had me back in the base camp. They said that I just
The
followed
Chosen
down and landed in the
Adventurer.
stream.
That
And
could
then
be
it
like the Eric
broke from my
McHenry
fall.
story.
When he finally returned home, Jack told no one, not even Dolores, about the eerie visitations he had experienced in the jungles of Vietnam.
It was several years after he had returned from Vietnam. We were in the living room, and he started telling me about the time that I came to him and did this and that, and I just said, whoa, I came to you over there?
What a
That's
classy
impossible.
broad.
You know, that's crazy. And, you know, we didn't talk about it for a while. And then when I would read something that was similar, I'd say, well, tell me some more about what you experienced. And then I found out there were quite a few people that had experienced the same thing.
There's a man in England, his name was Tyrrell, who came up with a theory and stated that there were such things as apparitions, which required two people. There had to be an agent to send the message, and there had to be the recipient to perceive
This
it.
I don't
The
care for this. That
experiencing
makes
of
me
the double
nervous. It makes me feel
occurred when
like
these two people were in conjunction with
doppelgangers as a concept
After
is
the
pretty
war,
terrifying.
Jack and Dolores devoted themselves to home and family.
It's like Uncanny
Dolores'
Valley.
special life-saving gift seemed to be a part of the past until April 19th, 1995.
Now I do like this
when
nice
Jack
green
was just a
ensemble,
little
very
late getting to his
tastefully
Oklahoma City office.
presented
Ironically,
B
I got angry at
Cuppers.
my wife for getting me up 5 minutes late because I told her I needed to be in at this meeting, and I had some stuff I needed to do, and I needed to be in the office at 9. She said that she's busy doing some things, and she just didn't realize what time it was. I went through my normal routine, and
So she forgot. She got busy and didn't wake him up, and he's grateful for that.
just left the house 5 minutes late, so I was
I
driving
got to get another
into
drink. I'm
work.
sorry.
And normally I'm directly in front of the federal building.
For Jack, the extra 5 minutes that his wife allowed him to oversleep would mean the difference between life and death.
The explosion was like at 9 o'clock, 9:02, which is almost every morning I'm right there. And this morning, since I was about 5 minutes late.
Do twins
I was
have
just
doppelgangers?
exiting
Yes.
off of the freeway.
Did you ever see that movie about the three brothers who were they were like triplets that were separated as part of like a government experiment? And then they eventually found each other.
Getting onto 6th Street when the explosion occurred.
Where he parks his car is where all the cars caught on fire. A few minutes off, either way, he would have been seriously injured.
The Wheelers believe.
Hold on, give me one moment here. See, it's nice to have this kind of time during the stream. I prayed about it and got extra time. Okay, let's see. Oops. Okay. Here is my doppelganger.
Oh, you are looking. US 60 just
Oh
ID'd
my God.
as a missing girl.
Hey, what's up, TK?
Emily, just
I love
14
Nancy Grace.
years old. Yes.
She's a boss. But I just want to say, King, what is up? Whoa! Well, first off, I can't hear you, but I can see you, and the visual's crazy. Yeah, but definitely can't hear you. So we're just gonna play that clip, and you can maybe get that mic work done, and we will revisit the King situation.
Her dismembered body.
Hold on, I think he gets brought up or featured somewhere in here.
Off the side of the highway.
Okay, here we go. Here's my doppelganger.
Fucking go out the other end, dog. The Vitress Matrix is gonna fucking take us there. This Sasquatch tease. This is what we're gonna do next week. Can we fit in these fucking things, dog? We're just gonna do Sasquatch tease next time. Fucking this is a fusion approved gear. We're coming out with all sorts of shit. So just know we're coming. And you better be coming. TK will check back maybe, hey.
Are you Samoan?
Thank you for checking in.
See, it's all very real. Doppelgangers do exist.
Believe that it was something deep in Dolores' spirit that somehow kept Jack away from Ground Zero. His office was demolished. If he had been sitting at his desk, as he had every other morning, he would not have survived the blast.
I believe she has a gift. She has
Bethadone was like, "You're not Mark
sense,
Fusion, are you?"
Needs of her loved ones and be able to protect them. All I know is that I've experienced these things, and I don't believe that I'm dreaming. I just know that that is what I experienced, and that's what I've observed, and that's what I've lived.
Although Jack Wheeler's life was spared, the family's happiness is bittersweet. They wonder why so many lives had to be lost inside the Alfred P. Murrah Federal Building.
You do think I say that a lot? Just know when we're coming, we're coming.
Next, startling new evidence of a Bigfoot in the wooded hills
Harold
of
Howard from UFC. They got a saying back where I'm from, boy. If you're coming on, poof, well, come on.
Bigfoot expeditions have become a kind of a cottage industry in the Pacific Northwest. Entering Bigfoot country.
Cottage industry.
Billboards proclaim.
It's a great phrase. Really fun to say.
1,500 miles to the east seem to indicate that Bigfoot's range may extend all the way across the Rockies and into the Midwest.
I would like to report what I believe to be a Bigfoot sighting approximately
Lou
5
Ferrigno.
miles from Lisbon, Ohio.
Probability of a Bigfoot being sighted.
I saw a
in
Bigfoot that
Ohio
looked just like him on a
obviously is
TV
lower
show.
than in the Northwest, but you can never exclude it. Absolutely.
Hello
because
everyone, I'm
historically
Dr.
there have been a
What's this
goodly
guy's
number of
name?
sightings made in that
This
area
guy's
of
gonna
the
be a
country.
favorite of mine for sure.
Historically, there have been a
God damn it.
excluded.
Hello, I'm Dr. W. Hinne Fahrenbach.
Absolutely, because historically there have been a goodly number of sightings made in that area of the country.
Biologist Dr. Henner Fehrenbach specializes in primate research at
What's
a
this
college
guy?
near
He's
his
got a
home in
serious
Beaverton, Oregon.
name. He's got a
His
serious
extensive
look and a
analysis of
serious
Bigfoot
voice. What's he
evidence
doing
grew out
doing
of
this
a
shit?
casual interest in the subject during the 1960s.
Scientists that are ordinarily quite rational refuse to even inform themselves of the evidence that is available. They reject it as if it was a ghost.
When somebody told me there was Bigfoot in Ohio, I laughed. I didn't believe it.
But compelling
Let
physical
me tell you
evidence
something, dude.
and eyewitness
This
reports
guy looks like
have made
Vladimir
George
Putin with a Hulk
Clapperson
Hogan
and Jody
mustache.
Cook believers. Together, they have formed the Ohio Bigfoot Research and
Damn,
Study Group
homie,
in
that's
Cincinnati,
almost
Ohio.
a foot long.
A 24-hour Bigfoot
That's what Joy would call a
hotline has been set up to
two-iPhone
record
dick.
area sightings.
They make a report in 1988. You investigate it in 95.
George Clapperson?
And everything is still exactly the same. They take you to where they had the sighting, and
Come
there's
on.
fresh evidence where they had their sighting years ago. That's pretty convincing.
This has been a
February of
great episode,
1995,
like a great
Clapperson
stream of
and Cook
sightings.
discovered an anomalous structure near Akron, Ohio.
That
they
first
believe
one, though,
may
I
be
think
a
was probably the
Bigfoot
best
nest.
episode
It
of
is similar
sightings
to,
ever.
but larger than nesting sites of other primates.
It was about 4.5 feet high and about 5.5 feet long. It was completely hollow on the inside. It was big enough for 3 of us to go and sit in comfortably.
Are these the sounds of Bigfoot? Sightings received these sounds recorded in Ohio by Bigfoot researcher
That horn
Matt
blow is
Moneymaker.
what Eric McHenry's
The
hearing
recording
in
is part of an
Assassin's
extensive
Creed
surveillance
Valhalla.
project that Moneymaker is conducting in southern Ohio. Sightings will bring you more on the results of this investigation on a future edition of our program. Peter Byrne of the Bigfoot Research Project is cautiously optimistic about the reported sightings in Ohio. In an average 6-month period, Byrne receives more than 3,000 calls.
What?
But from those calls, less than 5 are found to be credible sightings.
3,000 calls.
If you've had a paranormal experience, please write to us at Sightings. Sightings can
All right,
also
so you
be
guys do
contacted
want to
at
watch
America
the
Online
Bigfoot
at
press
keyword
conference?
Sightings. At the Sightings Forum, download images, sounds, and QuickTime clips.
Please download
Also,
pictures
join
of the
us daily in
Sally
our chat
House
room,
victims.
Live on AOL.
Until next time, remember, no mysteries closed to an open mind.
Let's go.
For Sightings, I'm Tim White.
No box is closed to an open mind. I'm Henry Winkler, and Andre the Giant's protege, Tim White. All right, here we go. You ready for the Bigfoot press conference? Here we go.
Fox newscasts with Megyn Kelly in the mornings, America's Newsroom. The boys and myself invited her out to see the body, to probe it, to touch it, to smell it. And I told her she's welcome to be there with us. Starting Monday, I should have assembled some fine scientists that will do the autopsy to find the origin and death of this creature. To be there with us. Starting Monday, I should have assembled some fine scientists that will do the autopsy to find the origin and death of this creature. And at that point in time, we will make it known, and hopefully we'll get somebody to come in and film it, maybe one of you guys, to show it to the world as it's being done. I want to get to the bottom of it. I'll tell you this, what I seen, what I touched, what I felt,
They found
what I
Dutch.
prodded was not a mask that was sewn on a bear hide, okay? And what I smelt also, all right?
Didn't smell like a bear.
These fellas, when they found this thing,
These fellas.
and they're going to tell it, you're going to hear it from the horse's mouth. It's a compelling story.
Hotel Cabana.
They literally stumbled upon this creature.
I'm not trying to distract from it, but look where this press conference is taking place.
I don't want to tell the story.
Hotel
I don't want to
Cabana
steal
in
from
Palo
their
Alto.
thunder. But at this point in time, ladies and gentlemen, I want to turn this segment over to them. And I want to let each and every one of you people know that they will be available after this conference on a one-to-one basis with each and every one of you. They will make time.
Each and every one of
and
you.
there are going to be pictures that have never been seen before, which we will distribute to you. But at this point in time, I'd like to bring out, I consider him a hero, ladies and gentlemen. He's a man of law enforcement. He took one for the team. He was wounded. He was shot in the hand, okay? Matt Whitten, would you come up here?
Like he was shot in the hand by the Bigfoot? Or what?
Hello. I don't know where to start. If anybody's got any questions, we can just go with that.
Let's tell them the story.
Okay, I'll tell you the story. How about that? Myself and Rick Dyer, my friend and business partner, we're not Bigfoot hunters originally. We are now the best Bigfoot trackers in the world. But we had just decided we were just going to get away for a while. We were going to go up into the North Georgia mountains. And I don't believe in camping in a spot where you just park and camp. So we were going deep into the woods. We were miles off of the main road. We stumbled upon this creature, and a stroke of luck, I can tell you that. And when we discovered it, I waited with it. Rick went back and got some help and got a truck, and we moved it out of there. It took us a long time to do it.
The public does need to know.
And that's the basic story. I'm sure people have some detailed questions they'd like to ask. I don't know. I guess, Shooter, you raise your hands first.
Thanks. I have two questions. Do you have the answer?
I do not.
And you said that I read the report that there were other species around this animal?
Yes, there were.
What's the plural of?
3. That's what we saw. What was happening while we were bringing it out, they were paralleling us, kind of in a way that it's like they didn't want to be seen.
They were paralleling us?
We were crushing the leaves or...
Hold on. Let me see if there's a different version of this, but I think I checked and I didn't see one. I can like barely hear the questioning. Bigfoot press conference. Okay, hang on. It looks like they're from the same source. I can't tell for sure though.
Something, and we would see them. They were aware of us. They didn't try to attack us or anything.
Congratulations to you guys.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Yeah, hi, Eric Erickson, BioPure.com. Could you sit down, please? Can you just tell us about the DNA evidence that you assembled and what did those tests say so far?
Well, we're waiting on that to come back. As far as I guess Tom has it back. As far as I know, it's going to come back as some type of what it looks like to me is like a human ape type creature. It's not a human, it's not an ape. It's definitely something that we've never seen before, so it should come back as something like that.
What condition was the body in when you found it, and how long do you suppose it had to live?
It was fresh. It was a pretty fresh body. I'm just gonna. What I've been saying is
we've invited Megan Kelly to come out.
It looked like in the box there was intestines coming out.
Yeah, I don't know to say that. I'm going to leave that up to the scientific community, who's going to do what we're going to have them do an autopsy on it. Okay, go ahead.
Wild Dutch.
No, like I said, we were not at the time. We weren't looking for Bigfoot. That's the interesting thing about it. We wouldn't know what we were doing if we did it. So we found what we found and took it out of there. We're going to have Tom Discardi and his team come out, and we're going to join them, and maybe later on a later date try to search for some more.
How did you stumble across this beast, I guess?
Like I said, we were hiking in the woods, and it was deep in the woods. It was actually laying next to a stream, and we actually. It was the only thing I could say is a stroke of luck.
And you recognize if it's just something unusual?
Right away. You know, you see it. For one thing, you just want to check these things out. But you know, the first thing that pops into your head is Bigfoot, and then you take a step back and you think, you know, it can't be, because I didn't believe in Bigfoot at the time. And you know, but I've seen the films, and I've seen things on television before. So, you know, you have to come to terms with it and realize you got something special, and that's what it was.
Are you worried that this Bigfoot species is in danger now because certainly what you're filled with people?
That's why I'm not revealing the location. We have no intentions of revealing that to the public. I'm sure
we'll
North Georgia's
only
gonna be
reveal that to certain press. I'm just gonna play the other one and see if it's maybe got a little bit better audio. Bigfoot press conference part 2. It's just, their version of it is split into 4 parts. Okay, let's see.
How about that? Myself and Rick Dyer, they didn't try to attack us or anything. How about that? Myself and Rick Dyer.
Okay, so this version, it seems like it has better sound to it, but it's like, it's a still. It doesn't have video.
My friend and business partner, we're not Bigfoot hunters, but we got it done.
With all these cameras, with all these people here, why not show us now?
What do you think? Can you actually hear the questions now? I feel like I can actually hear him. He said, like, with all these cameras here now, why don't you show the evidence right now?
There's been actually,
To their surprise, I've got those photographs here for you guys today, and I will disperse one of each for you, okay?
How large is the creature? How much do you think it weighs?
7 feet 7 inches tall. Okay, the footprints were in excess of 16 inches long. The handprint from palm to the upper middle finger, and excuse me for interrupting on you, okay, is 11 inches long, okay? But I want you to understand, they did not want to give these photos out. I've talked
Hey,
to
Paro,
them.
it looks like his shirt says it looks like it maybe says like play hard, or gosh, I don't know.
And they've agreed, hesitantly, but they're going to do it out of respect to me and to the scientific community and to you people here. You will actually see a bipedal creature, which we've got copies for you people. We also have one of the body where the tongue and teeth are up close. So it'll prove to you people that this is not a mask. I'm sorry for interrupting. Go ahead.
That's fine. Thank you. Yeah, I've upgraded that since all the psychos started calling. I've stopped taking calls because so many people are calling.
Why did you say that? Was that true?
No, we're not looking for the Loch Ness Monster.
I wish they had a microphone bank.
Yeah, it was actually, when we found it, there was some guts were hanging out of it. I don't know what killed it. Like I said, I'm going to leave that up to whoever does the autopsy that can determine that.
What kind of impact do you think it had for that evolutionary theory?
Well, that's an interesting question too, and that's going to be something that's just going to be left up to whoever the scientists are that look at it.
There was a video of you on YouTube, I believe it was you, saying that this is a hoax, that you were, I believe, confessing. That video is no longer available. Would you care to comment on that video?
I don't believe that there was any video of me saying this is a hoax. This is a real body.
So he's saying that somebody found a YouTube video with this guy admitting that this was a hoax, but then the video's since been taken down.
I'm glad that we can address this at this present time. Remember, when I got thrown into this mix, I saw the same crazy videos that you people did. When I confronted these guys, I says, you know, what was the purpose? I realized how the death threats that we received, these guys actually received death threats. I was with them at 3 o'clock in the morning going back to one of their homes, that a car with tinted windows outside was waiting for them to come home. They called 911 and they got the cops out there to find out he was a Bigfoot buff and thinking that the body was in the guy's house. Since then, one of these guys have moved from their homes. Why don't you address and tell the people here why you went out and put these YouTube videos together?
We'll go with that. All right. Well, you know, everything...
Oh, here we go.
I sure can, and I understand where you're coming from, but at the same point in time, how many real Bigfoot researchers are out in the field trekking 140,000 miles a year, except for by cyberspace, which like most of you people do?
How much money do you folks hope to make for this?
As much as we can. Don Sanchez coming from you? That's the kind of answer you're going to get. Even
What happened to the audio?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, it is definitely a male creature, number one. And number two, I got to make you people understand, there's not just one Bigfoot, okay?
I got to make you people understand.
There's a minimum of 3,500 to maybe a maximum of 7,000 of these creatures across the land.
What are these numbers based off of? Where's he coming up with these numbers? They're just completely random. Even if like in kayfabe, if he believes this is real, where's he getting these population numbers from?
In my opinion, Jeff Meldrum is an associated anthropologist. He's not a man, a true anthropologist that can really do what we need to be done.
Whoa.
You said that there are thousands of these throughout the country. Clearly, most of the earlier sightings were in the Pacific Northwest. Now we have them in Georgia. That suggests that they're covering the continent, or at least at these latitudes covering the continent. There have been humans on this continent for at least 12,000 years. There have been Europeans on this continent for 400 or 500 years. Why is it that we just find a body now in the 21st century where we have a nice news cycle?
Well, you know, I can't answer that question to you, but I can pose one back to you. And that is this. We've had 72 planes crash in the last 25 years from Sacramento to Anchorage, Alaska. How come we haven't found these planes or the wreckage or these people who crashed in them with the satellites and everything that we've got at our disposal?
The satellite man.
No, I'm talking about land.
72 planes?
That's correct, over the past 25 years. But better yet, let's go something a little bit closer. When was the last time you found the skeleton of a bear in the woods?
There are lots of them.
How many have you seen, sir? Yeah, of course you did.
Coming on, here we go.
At the same point in time, let me give them one more better than that. Last year, this month, Steve something or another, Fawcett, thank you. He crashed, his plane crashed with him in it in a radius of 200 miles, people. And today, with the high-tech world in which we live, how come we couldn't find his body or the crash? Think about it.
So, instead of stating basically to the press, you've honestly found a creature that is different. You can tell that just by your eyes. Why not show us the body?
It will be shown, and it's a great question, okay? But at the same point in time, until we get the right scientific crew there, and I've already went on air and told the world that Megyn Kelly from Fox will be the first one there.
Can he say these about the Bigfoot? He can say
Do you
these?
think that these fellas would have come this far?
Chat, oh my God, he
Their
can say these?
reputations and their jobs on the line if they didn't have what they said they had? You will have that before you leave.
You'll have it in your hand before you leave, okay? Quiet, piggy.
Can you talk about the DNA, please?
It's in two parts. It's test one and it's test two. It's quite lengthy, and I'm going to give you all copies, and you'll all get.
You know what? It's not, what you're asking about this Bigfoot corpse. It's how you're asking it. It's very nasty. You're a very nasty person.
Bottom line is, one of them came back that it was messed up, inconclusive. Out of the 3, one came back as human, and the other one came back that because where they took the sample, which was from the intestines, okay, came back possum. So that could have been possibly, so we don't know.
You have no DNA results.
Yes, we do. We got what came back from the scientists, which you will have a copy. Good question. It's the scientist's name is Kurt with a C, C-U-R-T. Last name Nelson, N-E-L-S-O-N.
Kurt Nelson.
He's with the University of Minnesota. I'm sorry?
I heard that he wasn't even expecting the DNA to be ready for this press conference.
Who'd you hear that from?
Where'd you hear that from?
I'm waiting for a friend of mine at Stanford. He'll be back from holiday on Monday.
I like
His name
it.
is Richard Klein.
I like how it sounds like this conversation is happening between people that are at a train station and then the person on the intercom. Kurt Nelson.
I've kind of been retired. By the way, I love your costume. You guys might want to get a picture of that.
This guy's a hoot, man.
Anything else?
Any serious questions?
Videos together.
We'll go with that. All right. Well, you know, everything. Whenever we first came out with it, we just we had a lot of people calling saying, you know, like he said, they were making threats, and we just decided to have a little fun with it. I think the only thing that you can say that there is one that says is a hoax. We didn't put that up. I think we made a video and then took it down, and someone else reposted it that says it was a hoax. I had my brother play the role of a doctor, and that was to give some of these psychos basically something to do for the weekend, because they were calling, and they had actually called my family and my job.
Listen, guys, these trolls, they ruined it, man. I can show you the Bigfoot body, but I can't show it to you till the trolling stops.
They were going outside of the Bigfoot world and going into our private lives, and it was getting a little creepy, to be honest with you. So we just gave them something extra to do, and sure enough, 24 hours later, people came on and said, that's his brother. You know, but in previous videos, we had actually had pictures of him in it, so, it was just, gave him something to do, and we were having fun.
This is literally the Wings story where he said that he invested in Aldi, and then he looked like a fool over it, so he said that he did it to lure out the trolls and that he knew that you couldn't really invest in Aldi. That's basically what's happening here. He's saying that, like, he brought his brother out to mimic a doctor, and then he's like, to bait out the psychos, and then he's mad that, like, the psychos came after him.
That's actually in an undisclosed location. Tom Biscardi.
Oh my God, undisclosed location.
And,
okay.
It's going to be taken to a
From
safe
parts
house
unknown,
where the autopsy will be done, and whoever we decide to let in will be able to be let in, and there won't be a huge frenzy there.
Like, what is this guy thinking? Why is he having his brother pose as a doctor?
Like I said, we were planning on going with Tom Biscardi's team to look for another live Bigfoot and try to capture it. That's going to be in the future. Right now, we've got our hands full with this, of course, but that is going to happen. Everyone wants to see. A deceased one is very groundbreaking, but if someone could have a live one, that would be excellent too.
Palo Alto, yeah, very trustworthy.
There's been actually Tom Biscardi has contacted lots of people in the scientific world. I don't know them by name, okay, but we're going to have top.
Well, and also Tom Biscardi is heir to the Bacardi alcohol fortune.
No, I don't. Like I said, I don't know.
And can you also, Mr. Biscardi said that this was a bipedal.
I still not understanding the whole brother.
The ones that we saw in the woods were walking upright like a human.
Were they making sounds?
The sounds, they actually didn't make sounds. They were. It's really like they didn't want to be seen, but we just saw them like just paralleling us.
Paralleling.
You said that you did not call any kind of authorities, a fish and game authority, anything like that. Why did you not call any kind of
Yeah, man, 6'9".
I didn't see any need to do that at the time. It seemed like it would create a frenzy, and of course, then there would be like I want to protect the species, okay? And I feel like
6 foot
if
Amazon,
that had gotten out,
good
the
Lord.
exact location would have been revealed, and everybody would be up
6'9"
there hunting
is
for Bigfoot and
crazy
disturbing
talk.
the habitat. If that's what this turns out to be. It already has.
That's 9 inches taller than VP, which is crazy because she seems like super tall.
From hearing your description of what happened to you, I mean, are there a lot of kind of psychos in the Bigfoot community?
And the thing is that I look at it both ways. Maybe they're not just into the Bigfoot thing. Maybe they're just stalkers who think that they can get part of television or something, or be a part of something. But it seems to me that way, that there is a lot of people in the Bigfoot world that may be a little delusional and jealous people too. You only get to do this, the first time is only one time, and we've done it. And it was luck, but we've got it. And no one else can say they did that.
Can you tell us from your side of things how this started getting called?
It's pretty much like what he said. Rick went on the Steve Cole show, the Squatch Detective show, radio show, and then
Squatch Detective.
Tom got in contact with him, and we talked a lot. Then we went on his radio show, and we actually really liked him. He presented himself well, and
he was very clean and articulate.
He helped us out a lot, as far as I'm concerned, and so he flew into town twice. Oh, by phone, yes. We talked to him by phone, and he said he wanted us on his radio show, so we went on his radio show. After that, he came to Atlanta twice, which is a long flight, so I can tell you that took a lot of effort.
Long flight.
I believe he did. Yeah.
I have 3 questions. How close were you to the live animals? Were you afraid of them at the time?
Yes.
Were you armed?
We were afraid of them, not armed. Okay, and
How close?
we're probably within 50 feet. I'm going to say that.
Junior Deputy Squatch Detective.
We got good shots of them. Okay, who's next? Go ahead.
Describe what it was like when you first found the
Shock. That's what it was. I mean, it was shock, and then we didn't want to. I didn't want to. Part of my mind that this was something that this is a creature that wasn't normal, not something that I've ever seen before.
And I
so
thought,
was
man,
just
we
in
got to get a
shock.
press
That's it.
conference in Palo Alto, stat.
Actually, a lot of the Bigfoot people, or a lot of people that wanted to know, did call from California, and Tom's from California, of course. He's a part of this now. Okay, it's not just me and Rick anymore. Tom is in this with us, and he set this thing up for us. We didn't set it up.
In this?
Tom set it up. So that's why we're out here. Beautiful town, though. Yes. Oh, you're talking about the Bigfoots. Like I said, we weren't tracking them. We didn't track them. We got what we got, and we didn't hang around there.
Can you describe the feel and the smell?
Well, of course, it smells like something dead. But I mean, but it also has something. It has a different smell. It's not like I guess it has an animal smell, but not like anything I've really smelled before. Okay, go ahead.
Considering how long you've been looking, or people have been looking for something like this, and assuming the numbers of them are very low, how
Playing the good cop, yeah, to the unhinged guy.
you have alive and to be captured?
I say hunt, and you think hunt would be like, and like Tom is the Bigfoot hunter. We're not going to kill one. We don't plan to kill one. Sometimes I think, and there's endangered species in the zoo, and I think some type of research needs to be done for this. Go ahead.
I'd like to address that question for you.
Oh, well, here we go.
Until we really know, okay, what these things are, all right, we have to get out there and try to capture one. We're not saying that we're going to keep it in captivity. We're going to keep it, study it, put a transmitter in it, and set it back in a protected area. So that's what the real purpose of this whole thing is. And the real purpose of what these gentlemen have, I'm telling you, it's a body, okay? And it's like a body that you've never seen. It's not human, it's not ape, it's just like you're seeing that's in there. And for those people who asked about the bipedal, you'll have those pictures here today. I've got them here for you.
What's that?
What happened to the body that Mr. Wynn, or, no, sorry, not Mr. Wynn, Mr. Viscardi claimed to have gotten.
I'm glad that you addressed that also, okay? That was a deranged woman from Stagecoach, Nevada.
From Stagecoach,
who was
Nevada.
listening to the George Norrie show a little bit once too often, and she was in captivity.
That's a really interesting,
Now,
that's a good, like, wrestling hometown.
And showing me a
Stagecoach.
body are two different things, dear. I sure did. I supported her allegation till I went out there and found out that she was mentally ill, and we sought help for her.
I supported her ideas until I realized she was mentally ill.
Go ahead.
So he supported the ideas of a mentally ill woman.
That was a streaming, and that's correct. You bet it was. Nothing. And any monies that was collected was refunded to
From
everybody.
Stagecoach, Nevada. Great town name.
Oh yeah, because it's out there, you know, looking for the creature.
Looking for the creature. All right. Well, what a journey today. Great episodes of Sightings. A pretty interesting Bigfoot press conference. I'm going to go. Thanks for hanging out. I'll be here in the morning for UWF. I don't know what I'm going to do besides that, but I'll get it figured out. Anyway, thanks for hanging out. I appreciate it. Hopefully I'll see you guys soon.